Hello and welcome to the second episode of Draw Your Swords. Holy shiitake, we did it. Another episode. An actual play D&D podcast played with comic artists and writers. I am Sandy, the Dungeon Master, and joining me are Harry, Holly, and Lily.
Hey, I'm Harry. I play Emlyn, the Halfling Rogue.
Hi, I'm Holly. I play Veda Fire Genasi Bard.
Hi, I'm Lily. I play Fig the firbolg druid. And guys, it's a good thing that we got 3 beds in our room, because if we shared a bed, there would be a mushroom.
I wanted to try and give you like complete silence after that. I couldn't help laughing.
Guys, I've been practicing that for like 3 weeks. Like, okay, say it like this.
The amount of restraint that you didn't say it yet is very impressive.
Thanks.
Oh my god. Okay, moving on. They told me that today, and I just stared at them. Just bad show. Okay, so
It's okay, I'm here to laugh at your joke.
Thank you, Holly.
every time it's Holly just like belts out a laugh, and I love it. And I'm just sitting there like face in hand, just no.
What can I say? I love a terrible pun.
It's true. I mean, I feel like as a bard you need to be.
Yeah, it's in character, isn't it?
I'm just a dingus.
So, second episode, crazy. It's been amazing seeing everyone responding to this pretty well. So thank you everyone who's listened so far and
Yeah, thank you.
continue supporting us with all the likes and all that stuff.
It's been fun.
Stop.
No.
I'm giving you silence.
You've had your one, that's done.
Sorry, I've been saving that one as well, but I got too excited.
So we can hop in if we're all ready.
Don't want to get into any sticky situations.
Stop.
Sandy, please tell us what happened in the last episode.
I will just save you all from this terrible pun.
Sorry guys, I'll leave.
Stop. Stop. You've used them all now. You've used all your
I know.
puns.
No, I've got loads. Don't worry, I got
Oh,
loads. I'm
God.
sorry.
This
Okay.
is going to be like the first 5 minutes.
Yeah. It's just gonna be Lily going.
Ruthlessly cut. It's just going to be like, hey, I'm Sandy, and then it's going to cut immediately to the action.
Yeah. Okay. So we'll hop into the second episode. After arriving in the town of Lilion on the canal boat belonging to a tiefling called Odd, our adventurers found a town preparing for their autumn festival called the Festival of Three. Veda, our Fire Genasi Bard, secured a room in the Golden Grain Inn by offering her services to play her lute during the festival. While they waited for the gig, they decided to explore the festivals where various games, challenges, food and drink stalls were all set up. After playing and winning a couple of games, the halfling rogue Emlyn won a bunch of gold and autumn spice pouches. Our Fig, our firbolg druid, taking the title of the one-chop champ, as well as strawberries and various food items. They witnessed an argument that involved a pumpkin ruling at one of the contests. Wielding their pumpkin, they stormed off, slamming into Emlyn, dropping his pumpkin, which then came to life. After the party dealt with the uprising of pumpkins, they were approached by Bellaman, a half-elf that was concerned about both the pumpkins and his brother and father's farm, and all their well-being. They all took towards the farm, approaching with caution as they saw inside the room was filled with dark purple roots and an unmoving body of Bellaman's father and his brother, Elkin. His back began to rip open, giving life to strange fungus-like creatures. Dealing with them quickly and finding a strange note and then burning down their farmhouse to ensure that the fungus doesn't spread, the party made their way back to the town just in time for Veda's set. From there, we are in the Golden Grain Inn. Veda has just finished her set. And the time is probably hitting early morning. What would you guys like to do?
I want to see the room.
Yeah, like what time is it? Like after midnight?
Probably like 1 in the morning, I would say.
I mean, bedtime.
We're supposed to go see the guard captain, aren't we?
Yeah, but it's 1 in the morning.
Yes. Cool. I don't know when guards are awake.
It's very true. Yeah, you can see that the whole inn's kind of died down now. You see a couple people now passed out at their seats, drinks finished, and it's pretty ripe and ready for bedtime. As you guys probably head up to bed, you see this again lovely room that Fig has never been in a room like this. As you guys kind of approach in,
As he looks into the room, his eyes just like sparkle with excitement, and he's gonna go in and look around, see what he can find.
What are you looking for specifically?
Anything unusual? If there's any food, just like things that I've never seen before, which is a lot of the things.
Yeah, I feel like Emlyn like grabs their stuff and is like huddled it close to themselves if they see Fig like scouring through, like turning bowls over and stuff.
He's just like, what's this? Oh, what's this over here?
As you kind of like enter the room, there's like a table with a couple of chairs in the middle with a fruit bowl on top where Emlyn kind of ate some food last time. The big double bed on the left hand side, and on the right hand side there's 2 single beds with the wooden border. What are they called?
Headboard.
Your room separator.
Yeah, separator. There you go.
Oh, I see.
The wooden separator, and then behind on the other side of the room is the doors opening out into the balcony. We hear people kind of outside, and as you peer out, Fig, you see people kind of getting all their stuff set back up, and all the tents are now hidden away, and people sweeping the streets of where various foods and things have been smashed along the floor. And
Which bed is mine?
It doesn't matter. They're the same, aren't they?
Well, the one's
Oh.
bigger.
Well, no. That one's Vader's.
Okay,
Yeah,
which one?
Vada's already like sitting on the big bed.
Which one do you want, Emlyn?
Doesn't matter. They're the same.
I sit down. on
Which one do you want?
Oh, I'll go to the one in the corner. And I go over and I sit on it
Fine.
and I puff it. I remember this.
you know, the bed's pretty big. It's bigger than like a normal sized human bed, and it probably hits about 6'4" in length and a bit wider, but still way too small for someone of Fig's size. But for Emlyn, huge bed.
Yeah, they're already like curled up. They're ready. It's 1 a.m., right? They're
Yeah.
done. They're sleeping.
As soon as you lie in the bed, it's just with. I can imagine you have all your stuff bundled in front of you as well.
Yeah, I feel like they definitely have like a knife under the pillow and just stuff like hoarded underneath them.
Yeah. Does anyone have like night routines?
Vada totally does.
Yeah.
She'll like pull the room separator over so she can get changed for bed and
Yeah.
start like washing her face and stuff.
7-step
like,
skincare routine.
Yeah, she definitely does like a 10-step routine.
It has like an OT face mask.
As only once a week now, every night.
I can dry it out.
Sorry.
So yeah, there's probably like a bowl and some kind of water in it. There's no running water up here, but
Yeah. If there isn't any, she would have gone and gotten like a bowl and a jug or something.
yeah, for sure.
Floating downstairs in a little like fancy dressing gown.
A chiffon dressing gown.
Yeah,
Cool.
keeping it classy.
So
Always.
is there anything that Fig does prepared for
He's
you?
just kind of sitting on the bed, kind of like touching it. He's being a bit quiet now though. He's just like stroking the bed.
And Emlyn, I feel, doesn't have.
They like wash their face with soap and then scrub it with a very small towel, and that's it. They have washed.
To them, it's a big towel.
Oh.
It's like a handkerchief. Everything is prepared for you guys, and I mean the beds are pretty comfy. Probably the best sleep you've had in a couple of days anyway, from being
Oh.
on the road.
I think like I don't think Fig's able to get to sleep on the bed because he's just kind of looking up at the ceiling and it takes him like a bit. He just like looks at the ceiling and he decides to get up, and he wants to go sneak over to the balcony.
Are you actually
And also-
sneaking?
Yeah.
Okay. Roll stealth.
Okay. Ooh,
18.
nice. 18.
Yeah, I don't think anyone.
I also want to grab the fruit bowl.
Okay. Make a sleight of hand check.
Shit. 7. Solid 7, guys.
An 18 for the stealth.
Knock
and
it straight onto the
7.
floor.
It's like, what the
Yeah, so as you kind of like very lightly on your feet, you reach for the food bowl, and with your big hands onto the small bowl, it just kind of like fumbles around a little bit, and you definitely hear like bits rocking and ceramics hitting off of wood and things, but it probably wakes you a little bit, depending on if you're concerned by that or not.
I just like kind of stand in the room and I make the noise, just like to make sure I don't disturb anyone. And then he's gonna head to the balcony and sit outside.
Okay. Yeah, there's like a couple of seats out there as well.
He's got a little blanket on him as well.
Yeah, you see the night sky, the forest out into the distance, a couple of torchlights of guards walking around. You do see off to the far left-hand side, what you didn't really notice before, this large stone tower with roses going all the way up the side. And you can see this because there's, it seems to be lit pretty heavily at night. And you see figures off to the distance, walking up and down the stairs. It seems to be lighting more torches.
I'm just gonna lie down and look at the stars instead of the ceiling. I like to think that his little feet are hanging over the side of the balcony.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, probably. You standing out of this, you could easily climb up on the roof. It's probably not that far up. You can see all the slates and stuff coming down the sides, and it'd be probably easier for you to sit on the floor with your legs dangling off.
Noted.
As you do see a couple of like late night travelers and people coming into the inn and making their way after the festival, trying to find rooms to sleep.
I'm more interested in watching the stars.
Yeah. Is that where you just spend your time eating fruit and contemplating? Is there anything that you think about?
He kind of thinks about like what he saw today, the weird mushroom things,
Mm.
and he's not super happy about mushrooms taking over plants and plants being evil. Not a fan of that. But he doesn't know enough about the situation to make assumptions.
Yeah. Okay. Is there anything like he wants to do about it, or?
He wants to figure out what started it.
Okay.
Why that guy left, but he didn't. Like no one saw that he was going. Like things aren't really adding up, and he kind of wants to figure out what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
But right now, stars are good.
As you probably hear in the middle of the night, Emlyn and Veda some crunching on some apples and bits and pieces as the night goes into the late hours.
I like to think that Veda's lying in bed with her like eye mask on, and she just hears crunch, crunch, and it's like slowly just like gets tired.
I do like the thought of you eating the cucumbers off of her face.
That's so weird.
It's just like.
It's like well,
but probably not.
She's just Yzma from Emperor's New Groove.
yeah, is her hair out?
No, don't think so.
Okay.
That would be funny though.
So your hair just kind of goes duller, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So as the morning comes, everyone has a sound sleep. Nothing is really a problem. What would you guys like to do?
Get some food. Get some breakfast. Maybe find out where this guy lives.
What's his name? Alex? Is it Alex? If I'm totally wrong.
No,
Alexander.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
Well, we know where his office is, right? And we were told he's just in his office all the time.
Yes.
So I figure we like go down and get breakfast and stuff.
Yes.
And then maybe over breakfast we're talking about we're gonna go and find him after.
What foods do they have for breakfast, Andy?
Yes, in the morning as you kind of come down and prepare for breakfast, you see like a little breakfast chalkboard sign. It has eggs and bacon, fresh bread with honeys and jams, and porridges with berries. And you see the elven man, Jean-Luc, sitting drinking some tea as people are now having all their breakfast and things.
Does it have the prices next to the food on the board?
It does. All your food is included within the price of your accommodation.
Oh, well then, I will have everything on the menu.
Yeah, I think upon understanding that, Emlyn like switches their order from like porridge to like, all right, it's an egg and bacon roll.
Okay.
In that case, if it's free.
Yeah, what a deal.
I mean, it's comfortable living. So
Living like kings.
that's the benefit of Veda performing.
Just shoving the food in my mouth like, thanks, Veda.
You're welcome.
What does Veda have?
I feel like she had porridge or something.
Okay,
Probably
pretty
not baking.
standard.
Yeah.
I feel like
Set you up for the day, porridge.
I feel like Fig and Emlyn essentially eat the same amount. Just like
No.
the power of halflings and giants is just like equal in food.
Emily's eating a roll, but like definitely having a conversation about porridge setting you up for the day. Maybe they have like a tiny bit of porridge. Maybe they go and get some porridge after as well.
Yeah, and then the dwarf, the husband of Jean-Luc, comes out and like he gives you all the food, while Jean-Luc looks after the bar. You see people drinking ales and meads in the morning as well, some wines, all that kind of stuff. Is there anything you guys want to do after having breakfast?
So we want to go see that guy Alexander, right? He was where was he?
We know where he is. I feel like, yeah, we go find him.
Okay.
What was the name of the hall again?
The Hall of Justice, also called
Okay,
the
cool.
Lion's Den.
So if we don't know where it is, we can probably just ask anyone and they'll point us in the right direction.
Yeah, I'll say that you inquire with Jean-Luc and he points you in the direction. It's basically out of the Greenfall Square where you are into the Silverside district, off to the east side of the city. And as you kind of exit into the main square here, there's a bit of sunlight peering through some clouds. You see that the market is already roaring with people. It's probably 8:30 in the morning. People are rushing around. Again, even though the festival is over, there's an extreme lack of footfall for the guards. You only see a couple around this main area. As you make your way through the streets of Lilion into the Silverside district, it almost changes feel. This feels more of a family district. You see a lot more kids, and you see some smaller schools seem to be teaching. Like classes already in session. As you kind of like peer past a couple of the windows, you see teachers giving lessons of the day. And the amount of dwarfs in this district actually increase. You start seeing a lot more dwarfs in this area. Fig, you notice in a lot of places have these two silver circles entwined with each other. As you kind of walk around, you just see this symbol quite a lot.
Weird. Does anyone know what that means? And I point
Yeah,
to the symbol.
Do we?
Do we though?
Is anyone proficient in religion?
Shit.
No.
Nope.
Not a clue.
I'd say, Emlyn, you might have seen this a little bit, but are not 100% sure. It's obviously some sort of religious thing. You might have heard in passing.
No.
Creonar True Silver. He's a dwarven deity. You don't really know what she's about, but it just seems like a dwarven deity thing.
Yeah, okay. I guess maybe Emlyn says that and is like, oh, it's one of those dwarf gods. Not very many other people worship them, but you get them up in the mountains and things. I don't really know what the symbol's for, though.
As you just see a lot more dwarfs walking around, and some do have this symbol. You actually see a couple of people wearing kind of white, kind of lab coats walking around as well, and they seem to be heading kind of northward. And there's a small cluster of them heading northward, deeper into the Silverside. As you approach the Lion's Den, the Hall of Justice, this strangely rectangle building that has these large rectangle windows and this big, probably 10 by 10 foot square door. And you see on the front of it has this big lion head knocker on it.
Fig's just like, heck yeah, a door I don't have to duck to get into.
Should
I
we
think-
knock?
Yeah, I think maybe like before like approaching the door, Emlyn is like trying to talk to Veda, being like, I think you ought to talk to them, talk to this guy about the lack of guards and things and them not checking on these poor people out in the countryside at their farm. Don't necessarily get on very well with guards. I'll just be at the back if you need me.
Okay, I can do that.
And they like are behind Fig. They're hiding.
Can I knock? I knock at the door. when I knock big thing.
Okay. As you grab the knocker and doof, 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 a moment passes. You just hear from inside, "Just come in!"
Okay. I'm gonna push the door open, I guess.
Okay, as you kind of like push the door open, it's unlocked. As you walk in, it's a very regimented building. As you kind of enter, you see this one desk filled with papers, a man sitting behind it, these two stairs left and right going up onto another story, and then all ceramic kind of flooring throughout this whole area. And kind of doors to the left and right as well. And sitting behind this desk, you see a human male, quite a strong jaw with a light stubble, and it looks like he has been awake most of the night with these large sunken brown eyes. He seems to be a bit older human, smaller frame, and he seems to be writing something with his quill, and you just see papers, and he looks a bit disheveled.
Veda's just gonna walk over to the desk.
Okay.
And just say, hello, we were hoping to speak to Alexander. Is he here?
Yes, and he rubs his eye. Yeah, that's me.
You are the captain of the guard?
Yeah, that's me. Yeah.
Can I roll insight?
Sure.
This guy seems like...
What were you trying to discern from him?
Is he lying?
Okay.
Or is he just sleepy?
25!
He seems to be telling the truth. He does look a bit tired, and a bit disheveled, but other than that,
Can I please go back and say that I cast good berries last night?
Sure.
And can I give him a good berry?
And he goes, oh, thanks.
Here, you did it. It'll make you feel good.
Okay. And he kind of just like puts it on the side. He says, what can I help you with?
We were wondering why there was such a lack of guards in this town. It seems very strange, especially during a festival.
And he kind of like turns his head. He says, you know, I've actually never seen you three before. Are you new in town? And that accent, Zisan, right?
We?
Can I see your papers, please?
Sure. She got her papers out.
Okay. He kind of looks at it. Oh, okay. Perfect. And he hands it back to you and says, kind of points to Fig. He doesn't seem to notice you, Emlyn, yet. He says, can I see your papers?
I reach into my little bag and just hand him some leaves.
Veda just gonna like kind of tap Fig's arm and kind of push him backwards a little bit.
He says, no, have you got like a passport or papers to say who you are?
Why do we need to show you our papers just when we are here asking a simple question? We were attacked by mutant pumpkins last night in your town, and I feel it's not unreasonable to talk to you about this.
No, I just like to know who I'm talking to. It's just the rules of the guards. We must ensure that everything is. We just need to know who's all here.
You could just ask our names.
Yeah, sure, but we do have troubles with people not saying who they really are. And your friend handing me a leaf when I asked for papers, I would say it's strange. And he kind of like looks behind Fig and eventually sees Emlyn. He says, "Oh, sorry. Can I?" Do you have your
Emlyn like
papers?
reluctantly produces some papers which do have Emlyn's real name on them, and as they slide them onto the table, you can see that maybe Emlyn realizes, I don't know, maybe they think that it was a bit of a mistake to do that.
Okay. As you kind of like, are you trying to be like quick about it, being like, there it is, and so that
No,
one else
I
can
feel
see.
like they just don't have that much guile.
Okay.
They're just like a little bit embarrassed, like pushing. Maybe the desk is like a little bit high,
Yeah. Oh,
not
for
very
sure.
accessible.
It's like probably 4 foot off the ground at least. And as he kind of like takes it and he looks at it and says, "Oh, interesting. Good." And he kind of like notes something else down at the side and hands it back to you. And he says,
And then tensely.
"So it seems that you do not have papers, sir. What is your name?" And he kind of points towards Fig.
Oh, my name's Fig.
Okay. And where are you from?
I don't know.
And he kind of looks towards you guys.
We found him in the forest outside town, but honestly, he doesn't really seem to know what's going on here. And I think if he had some kind of secret plan, he probably wouldn't have given you leaves when you asked for papers.
If you look at Fig, his eyes are facing like opposite directions.
Make a persuasion check, Emlyn.
Oh no!
Can
No
Fig's
way.
eyes facing the other way give them advantage?
Yeah, that's okay.
So 17, even though they're not that good.
No, I mean plus
Pretty
is
good.
very good.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
He kind of looks at you and then looks at Fig. He says, "Oh, okay. I mean, there are druids and things that have lived away from society, so that makes sense."
Yeah, I think he's probably definitely one of those. I mean, really away from society.
Well, since you've had such a terrible time in our city, which I'm sorry about, we can set up some papers for you. So in another town, when someone asks you for papers, you can give them in. But it will take a couple of days. So I have to ask you not to leave the city for a couple of days while we get it all set out. He says, "Can you write?"
Yes.
Okay. And he kind of goes into one of the drawers and takes out some parchment. And he says, "Can you just fill in these details for me?" And it has name, age, when you were born, where you're from, list of affiliations, like guilds or anything like that. He says, "If you could just fill this out for me."
Is there like a chair I can sit down in?
Yes. If you go through those doors there, and he kind of points off to the right hand side, he says, "If you go through there, there's a small desk waiting for you."
I'm just picturing this like a doctor's clinic at
Yeah,
this
it
point.
kind of is. It's very very strange.
Just like ba 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 ba, playing over like the speakers.
And he says, "If you just go through there, you could fill
Go
those
for the
out,
scary door.
and
Yes.
we can get those notarized, and we'll get you proper papers within the next couple of days."
Okay, I'm just gonna go through next door, fill out the form. He has very nice handwriting, I think.
Okay.
It's like nice
Yeah, as you
cursive.
kind of go through that next door, you do just see a couple of desks and a couple of people just like writing. You see a couple of guards in there as well.
Hello.
And they kind of just nod. And you do see this large half-orc with teal skin and ginger curly hair that you saw yesterday, who was trying to be coaxed into chopping the wood before you did, wielding this giant great axe on the back, standing about 6'7", and she seems to be talking to a couple of other guards as well.
Okay, I'm just fill out my form.
Maybe while Fig is doing that, Vader and Emlyn explain a little bit more to Alexander that does Alexander seem to know about what happened at the festival?
He seemed to respond with yeah, I kind of know what happened, and I'm sorry that happened, but seems to be trying to change subjects into different things.
There were more of these pumpkins at a farm, not too far from town. Should you not have guards checking your local farmers every now and then? Clearly no one had been there for a week.
Well, you can kind of see his R's darting back and forth and try not to like look at you directly. He says, see, there was a lot of prep that needed to go into some nobles arriving at the noble house up on the hill. So we needed to make sure they were all okay. You see, our main guild, I get the guild who sits in the city, the bannermen, they normally look after the city a lot of the time, but they are currently somewhere else. So
where are they?
I believe they're taking a mission to the south. I cannot remember where. And he kind of like fumbles through some papers. He says, they're down in the Kingsentry Mire, really far south.
So you rely on another guild to protect the people of your town, and your guards go to the nobles and ignore everybody else?
Yes, that does seem to be the way. Yeah.
This is not right, don't you think?
Well, it's the way it's supposed to be.
These people on the farm had family who lived in the city, so if they'd had guards that they could have gone to talk to, they could have made sure someone checked on them so that they didn't grow a bunch of monsters and endanger people's lives.
You are correct. Yep. There's not much that I can do.
You are the captain of the guard. Is this not your job?
Well, kind of. The noble family, the Nitwa, they kind of tell me what to do, and I just ensure that all the paperwork is filled out and sent away to the capital. Yeah, that's my job, really. And he seems like starts sweating a little bit more.
You are more of a secretary of the guard then?
No. I worked my way up and was elected to be the captain. Yeah, I have medals.
Nobody cares about your medals when your townspeople are being hunted by monster pumpkins.
Well, since you are going to be here for a couple of days, maybe we can make out a deal. If any more pumpkins come to life, maybe we can pay you for it.
I'm listening.
Since we do rely on the bannermen and they are currently not here, we do have gold, so spare.
I feel like at the mention of spare gold, Emlyn has like poked their little face like up over the desk to be slightly more involved in the conversation.
Can't you use your spare gold to hire more guards, because you clearly need them, and we won't be here forever?
I don't think it really works like that. We get guards from the capital. They come out here, and there's a lot of paperwork that goes into doing that. I can put in a form to ask for more guards, and perhaps I should have done that beforehand, but it will take maybe a month or two to get more troops out here.
Or maybe you could just have less at the Nitwa house?
Yes. No, they need to be well looked after. People don't like nobles a lot, so we try to make sure they're safe.
Well, no wonder nobody likes them when they steal all the guards. Maybe that is part of the problem.
Maybe Evelyn tries to like steer the conversation toward like they explain like where they're staying, like where they can be contacted if there's any like paying jobs that come by. And maybe is it been a long time since Fig has been gone filling in the form?
Probably like 5-10 minutes.
He's drawing little pictures on it.
Yeah, maybe Emlyn like comes through to like see how Fig is doing. They're also kind of interested in like what Fig has written I don't know if Vader is still just like talking to this poor guy.
I want to
He's
see your
just-
manager.
She's just, yeah, I was going to say, she's just doing her best, let me speak to your manager thing.
Yeah.
Her hair has gone like shoulder length.
Yeah, just immediately like popped into a bob.
Yeah, so as you kind of go through and see Fig, what could Emlyn see what you were writing, or?
He's not exactly hiding it. He's just like saying. I feel like he's got like a book and he's sitting with his leg up and he's writing on top of the book, like in the corner of like playing in the background.
And like, does it say, you know, there's like a field that's like where Fig is from? What's
It's
Fig
just
written?
question marks.
Okay.
Oh.
But they're really nicely done. I think he's got nice handwriting, and his drawings are quite nice too.
It's like calligraphy question marks.
Mm-hmm.
Question marks look like drawings of mushrooms.
Yes.
Just a smiley face.
He dots everything with like a little star.
So yeah,
He's got 16-year-old girl handwriting.
Yes.
so with you fill out your like full name, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So it'll be Finnegan Bramblebuck.
Finnegan. Finnegan Bramblebuck.
Mhm.
Yes.
And it says your age and thing.
Megan Bramblefuck.
Bramblefuck. Yeah.
Does it say your year when you were born, or do you not know?
Also question marks. Wait. Yeah, he doesn't know what year it is at the moment either.
Okay.
So question marks.
Yeah, or it says
If he
the
has
date.
to date it, it's just like question marks.
So it mostly just has your name, right? And height.
And my
maybe?
age. Do you have to put your height in?
I don't know. Maybe
How much space do you fill up?
a 5 foot square.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So yeah, it seems to be Emlyn like tons of question marks that he
Yeah,
doesn't know.
okay. So you almost finished or just embellishing at this
Almost
point?
done. And I draw one more mushroom in the bottom. Done. Do I bring it back through to that guy?
I think so.
What did he look? Did he look like? What I expected the captain of guard to be like big buff guy, beard, long hair.
No, he's kind of like shorter hair. He looks smaller frame, not like hulking beef. But
Yeah, I'm just imagining then like a little weenie boy with like a terrible half-grown mustache.
he's got like light stubble around his face, and he looks just like very tired. He doesn't look like a strong captain of the guard type. He looked like he's been probably malnourished as a child and not very well kept from then on, and seems to be quite happy being not out on the streets fighting things.
I see. Okay, I'm gonna take it back through to him.
As
Slide it over to my desk.
he says, "Oh, thank you," and he kind of takes it and he kind of just looks at that and he says, "Oh, so you do not know much, I suppose. Do you know what forest that you lived in, or was it just this one?"
The Feywilds.
Like just silence from him. He says,
It arches an eyebrow.
I feel like he got really close to the mic and he was just like, Feywilds?
he says, "Oh, okay."
He came from another place and he just came out in the forest where we found him. What he says.
Okay, sure. I'm sure we can. I will fill some extra bits in, but I do thank you for filling this out and helping the townsfolk. If there is anything, jobs that require some urgent attention, I will be sure to find you. And you told them where you were staying, right?
Yeah.
He says, "Okay, I'll make word to the Golden Grain, and if ever I need you. But please stay in town for the next couple of days while I get this notarized and all the proper paper filled out for you, Finnegan."
Is there anywhere you recommend seeing in town? If we're
Um,
going to be here for a few days.
well, if you like nature things, head over to the Root Touch district. They do have a temple to Shanti, the grain mother. Really beautiful gardens there. You might have seen the tower, the one on the left-hand side of the town.
Oh
covered
yes,
in
I saw
roses.
that. I saw that last night from the balcony, from a room.
Yes, it's very nice. Some lovely people. Actually, there's some firbolgs who run that place.
There's firbolgs.
Yes.
Okay, I turn around and leave.
Nope. Okay. There's also a couple other places. If you ever need magic things, the Dreaming Hydra, that's a good place. Or want to relax in a bath. There's the Coral's Nook. You can head down there. That's in this district here. I don't think many of you are the God-fearing type, so. But if anything, if you ever get ill, head over to the Halls of True Silver. That's where the infirmary is, just north of here, in the Silverside district. And they will take care of you there. Was there anything else you needed to look for or find?
Unless any of you guys has like a particular question, I think that like figures out the door, and maybe we're just sort of like, like thanking him for being sort of like, sort of like heading off, trying not to lose him in the city.
Yeah. Yeah, he was kind of like looking at some papers as like Fig just turned around and left. He was kind of just like reading off some couple of things. He says, "Oh, okay. Goodbye. I hope you have a nice time in town."
Emma's at the door being like, what's he mean? Oh, you definitely don't look like the God-fearing type. We could be the God-fearing type. He doesn't know. I fear all the gods just a little bit, in case, you know?
You fear them, did you say?
Yeah. That was amazing, by the way. The way that you talked to that guy. Did you see his face?
He's just a worm.
And I feel like the way that you look at him, he knows that he's just a worm, you know? It's really impressive.
He definitely does. Is a little bit sad.
Emlyn is just in awe.
I feel like from here, Veda's casting vicious mockery on him. Just passively.
Yeah, he's back in
just
that
sitting behind
room,
the
just
desk,
like,
he's
oh.
Fig, as
Yes.
you bound off into the city, where are you
Fucking
heading?
hyped. Heading to the Root Touch district towards the big tower.
Okay, so just from where you saw it last time. So as you see Emma and Veda just bounding through the streets, this large firbolg, pretty easy to spot, just bounding down the street. What would you like to do?
Just follow Fig and see where he ends up, I guess. Make sure he doesn't, like, do anything too, like, weird.
Yeah.
While we're walking, Veda's gonna, like, be like, do you really think he came from the Feywilds? Or is he just imagining it?
Honestly, I can't tell. He could be from anywhere, and I don't think I'd be surprised.
Mm.
And I thought he said, he's like looking for people, but I don't know.
Well, he isn't going to find anyone in the Feywilds here.
Exactly. He could have been kept in a tower by a wizard, or he could have been anywhere. He could have just been on his own, being raised by wolves or
Raised
rabbits
by
or something.
definitely
Probably not,
mushrooms.
actually. Oh, that makes more sense.
Don't at Fig.
Fig's in the distance. Fig can't hear.
So as you kind of walk down the main street, you see a lot of people coming and going from the city, like lots of carts and animals of burden, wheeling large crates and things up and down the main thoroughfare. As you kind of cross over the main bridge, you see canal boats coming underneath the bridges. These kind of really beautifully made bridges with little alcoves that seem to have like little plaques of people of note of the world, heroes of past, and some lore about the city as well. As you kind of head deeper into the Root Touch district, the kind of busyness kind of changes into a very slow, steady paced feel. You see a lot more wooden houses here, but very, very sturdy and very well made. You see a lot more, I'd say more finer dressed people. Their clothes are quite simple, but they're just made of a lot of nice things and are pretty well kept. Yeah, and you see a lot more people bearing symbols of Shanti, which is like a bunch of grain, basically. And you know her to be the goddess of agriculture, and she's pretty much worshipped in a lot of farming town. Yeah, and Fig, as you kind of bound through, trying to navigate. Make a investigation check.
Okay. Investigation. Oh, 20! Determined.
Like a bloodhound dog, you are.
Still ears are like going like different directions and what way he's gonna go.
And I think you guys are probably easy enough kept up. I don't think Fig's really particularly rushing, right?
There's a lot of people he could bang into.
Yeah. So.
I think he's walking at like a quick pace.
Okay.
But he's being very conscious how big he is.
Okay.
In the city.
Yeah, you probably pass like a lot of vegetable stands and shops and some probably pastries and cafes where you see people kind of having a lot more chiller time than the likes of, say, Greenfalls Square, where it's pretty busy all the time. As you make your way to this large hedge wall that seems to just encompass a large section, and you see these big wooden doors that are kind of ajar a bit, very beautifully made, and there you have two large grains going over each side of it. As you kind of push through Fig, you do see this massive rose garden, mostly roses. You also see large kind of herb plants and various other plants all scattered around, and you do see quite a number of firbolgs. Seems to be the most majority people in here. You haven't seen them anywhere else really in town except from here.
Motherfucking firbolgs. Any of them look in charge, I guess? Or what do they look like me?
So these firbolgs are, the majority of them are blue skinned, like your typical firbolg. They're blue skinned, furry on the sides.
They have very blue fur.
They have furry blue fur, yeah. You do see a couple of ginger ones as well, all wearing pretty simple robes. They're all kind of bent over some bushes, trimming them all. You do see one larger firbolg, very, very thick ginger mane, and they seem to be speaking to a group of people. Seem to be talking. She seems to be wearing the most lavish but kind of toned, earthy tones dress.
I think he's kind of like gone into himself a little bit,
Mm-hmm.
but he's still gonna kind of wander over to her.
Mm-hmm.
Is she talking to people?
Yeah, she seems to be like addressing a bunch of people.
I do that thing where you kind of like stand off to the side awkwardly.
Yeah.
Don't enter a conversation, but look kind of interested.
And I think at this point, Veda and Emlyn, you've probably approached into this area as well. As she's kind of seems to be giving a talk on just general care of the plants, and she just says, "Well, that shall be all for today. You," and kind of points to Fig. Is everything okay? You seem a bit lost.
Hello, my name is Fig. Sorry, I kind of came here looking for other firbolgs, thinking that they might look like me, but you don't.
No, and she's a bit taller than you as well.
She's taller than me.
Yeah, she's bigger than most firbolgs here.
Shit dog.
How big are you, Fig?
8 foot.
8 foot. Yeah, she's like hitting 9.5.
Damn.
She's huge and like wide as well, wearing these big kind of earthy tone robes, and she kind of like looks down at you, And she says, well, my name is True Shaper Arlene. Yet you are quite a strange looking fellow. I'm sorry that you cannot find the ones that you are looking for. I don't think there's anyone like you around.
You don't know anyone, like, in the area, maybe? Outside of the city?
Oh, no. Where are you from?
I don't know. That's what I'm trying to find out.
And she kind of like tilts her head like you do. Her kind of big, floppy ginger ears, much larger than yours. Like she almost kind of looks like a highland cow. She kind of tilts her head. As her big, massive, ginger, curly, tangled hair kind of flops with it. She says, odd. Yes, I'm sorry, you are a strange one, though. Most people around here are of my kind of clan, or the blue touched there.
Are there lots of different kinds?
Not that I know of. There's darker brown ones, but you more look like a deer with your spots, and are shaped very different. As you see, she's quite bulky and has more of a hunch. As more of these people around here, very square kind of bodies, and you've kind of a lot slender compared to a lot of the firbolgs here. And she says, you are quite strange looking, but I recognize you as one of my own. But is there anything else I can help with?
What is this place? Other than it's a temple, right? To the Earth Mother?
Yes, this is the Tower of the Earth Mother, where a lot of us have gathered to tend to the gardens here and pray to Shuan-Ti and look after the farms.
Your garden is beautiful.
Well, I appreciate that.
Mind if I have a look around?
But of course, we can walk around together and enjoy its beauty. As Veda and Emlyn probably approach at this point, and you see this giant firbolg just kind of looming over Fig as she kind of puts her hands behind her back, and she says, oh, hello. Is there anything I can help you with today?
We were here with Fig.
Well, we were just about to take a stroll around the garden if you'd like to join us.
Isn't it lovely? Look at all the plants.
It's beautiful.
Everything's so green. Does the plants look natural for this kind of season?
Yeah, everything's quite natural. You can see a lot of the rose bushes probably beginning to wilt, but still being looked after and trimmed, and a lot of the hedges are being put back. There's nothing like beautiful topiaries. They're all kind of left a bit natural but kept. But yeah, it seems to be more nature based rather than magical plants. And she says, well, if you are looking for someone, we do have within the Earth Mother's tower, we do have a library. All sorts of ancient tomes of nature. Perhaps you might find something there.
With nature stuff, did they tell me where they are?
As firbolgs are kind of ingrained into nature, being created to be some sort of nature guardian, I suppose.
Here, Fig, were you born in the Feywild?
No, I wasn't. I just lived there.
How did you get there?
I don't know.
But you've been there since you were young, or?
Yeah.
And your family wasn't there with you?
No, they weren't.
Well, I'm sure we'd be happy to look at the library with you if it's going to help.
I mean, you guys don't have to come with me if you don't want to. You can go about your own things. I don't want to hold you all back from doing whatever you want to do.
I like it here.
Yeah, it's
I never
nice.
got my garden to look this nice.
Do you have a garden?
Only a wee one. it was mostly vegetables and things, but I've never really had the knack for it. That seems to be the case with quite a lot of things. I don't know. I really tried, but
I can help you with your garden if you ever want to make another one.
yeah, that would be great. I'm sure.
I've got away with plants.
No, I'm sure you do. That's not the problem. Yeah, one day I'll go home and you can come with me and help me with the garden. Wonderful.
I'm into it.
Yeah.
And she says, "So, you are of the Feywild. It is truly an interesting place of untouched forests and gardens that never change, and or so it is told. Is that true?"
They change all the time.
Yeah.
The Feywild is always moving, it's always alive. Like, it itself is alive.
Oh, I was more meaning the seasons, but it's alive.
Oh, yeah, no. The seasons don't change. It's very exciting seeing night again. Yeah, it's just kind of warm. So, having wind again also is amazing. And feeling cold and stuff. It's great.
How long were you there?
A while.
You do look like a young firbolg. Do not look like you've seen past your 50th year.
No.
I myself have seen many a season, but I've never encountered anyone quite like you.
Oh, stop it.
I feel like when Fig is talking about the Feywild, Emmeline is like staring. Like it's do you know what I mean? Like it's an exhibition or a performer or something.
Yeah.
Like they don't know if it's real, but they're interested.
Mm-hmm. Seems that you're more lost than you may think.
Oh, I think I'm pretty lost. But now I have these guys. I point to my friends. And I have them now. So that's good.
I suppose you do.
Jazz hands at them.
Well, as you're kind of walking around the whole area, and you see some humans, some elves, dwarfs, some tieflings in here, but majority firbolgs of the blue and ginger variety. It takes you a little while, and you kind of get lost in this whole maze of hedges and plants and everything. And she seems to walk around and pick little bits, and as she's going along, and people kind of bow to her, and she seems to be pretty well respected in this area. And she says,
"Are you an archdruid?"
"No, I am a true shaper. I'm be more a high cleric of Shanti. Although we are very closely related to our druid friends, they do look down upon us as we care more for agriculture and various parts like that."
I don't look down on you. You're the better class.
She says, "I know." No, she says, "Well, if you want to have tea with me anytime in the Earth Mother's Tower, the gate's always open.
I'd love to, thank you.
But I have duties to attend to at the minute. If you would please excuse me." But
of course, thank you for showing us around your garden.
It is not a problem. And she kind of like, she seems to notice someone in the distance and kind of walks towards them. She says, "It was nice meeting you all."
Nod.
And she seems to be now talking to someone about how to cut some plants, and she's like telling him off because he's doing it wrong.
I thought she was inviting us for tea now, and I'm really thirsty for tea.
Did you want to see the library, or do you want to go and get tea?
Maybe we can get tea in the library. Maybe there's like a little cafe built in.
Have you been to a lot of libraries? Cleric libraries, have you? And maybe just Fig thinks that like everything has a gift shop. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like if this is the first like town he's been to, like he's just assumes that like, yeah, that could work.
Why not?
We could get dinner there, right?
He wants to get like little plushies of the lady.
Nice.
To be fair, I'd buy one. She sounds really cool.
So, where would you guys like to head?
Well, we could do some reading, or we can go to a cafe, get some cake and some sandwiches.
I just had breakfast.
What time is it?
It's probably, you left at like 8:30. It's probably like hitting 11, maybe.
It's almost lunchtime.
See, you should have had porridge.
I had everything. Still hungry though. If you guys are wanting to hang out in the library, and if you don't mind doing that first, we can do that. See what we find, and then go to a cafe, collect our thoughts, or I will have a cry. We'll see. And
If you
then we
want
can
to
do
go to
something
the
else.
library, then
I would like to see the library.
Okay, we'll go to the library then.
As you make your way to the Tower of the Earth Mother, you do see this kind of like mix of ivy and wilting roses up the side of this tower. And it stands probably 30, 40 foot tall. It's pretty big. As you kind of enter inside, these big oak doors, much bigger than any door you've probably seen around this area, as it must fit many a firbolg.
I'm into it.
As you walk inside, you just see this spiraling staircase all the way outside the perimeter of it, going all the way up to the top with just walls lined with books, and in the center you just see a couple of firbolgs and probably a couple of humans seem to be reading, and some people do have some kettles and things off to the
Told
side
you.
and seem to be brewing some teas.
They have like a little water dispenser.
Some seem
Water
to be
cooler.
using magic to light up the kettle, as to not hurt the books with actual real fire.
I feel like Emlyn like starts discussing like what we should look up, like different kinds of firbolgs, like firbolg history and stuff, and then immediately gets distracted by the tea urn and goes to get a tea instead.
Yeah, there's this blue firbolg with giant
I too would like some tea.
mutton chops, kind of a bit smaller than Fig, hunched over this nice cast iron tea set, and he seems to be holding in his hand, as you see fire in his hand as he's kind of lighting it up. He seems to be holding it aloft above his hand. He says, "Hello, it's nice to see you. Would you like some tea?"
Yes. Is there any cake as well?
And he kind of like slowly looks around. "Darlene, do you have tea? Sorry, cake. We need some cake." And another
Yes.
a ginger firbolg kind of sits up. She says, "Oh, yes, we believe so." And she kind of goes into this bag. She seems to be reading some books and goes into a bag and opens this beautiful wooden case and opens up, and you see a couple of slices of cake in there. It's kind of wrapped up. And she says, "Oh, yes, we have a couple here. Is it just for you, fellows?"
I mean, if you're offering cake,
"Oh, yes, we have lots."
it seems like it'd be rude not to take it. Yeah.
"Yes,
Yeah,
please,
it'd be rude not to take it.
come gather around my table." You see this
Thanks.
big oak table, and it's got like books all piled up. And you do see that there's probably some stains on the table where lots of tea has been sat. And then, probably a couple of leather books that have been stained a little bit. They don't seem to be the best carers of books. But, they try their best.
It's the thought that counts.
You do see people sitting, writing things as well. They have large parchments and seem to be copying books of old tomes, trying to renew them as well.
So really tea-stained ones.
Yeah. And
Could you maybe pass the cake down here?
oh, yes, of course.
You've got, yeah, thanks.
And she puts like a bit of cake on like a saucer, so it fits you more. And the guy comes over and starts handing out some tea. It smells quite lemony and quite strong. And it seems to have some sort of residue at the bottom of it as well.
See, our friend was hoping to look into his origins. I don't suppose you know if you've got books about firbolgs or different kinds of firbolgs or anything like that.
Or plants that tell you how to find people.
I suppose that would work as well.
And she's kind of tilts her head.
So they all do this.
A lot of people who are reading seem to tilt their head as they're reading.
I like that so much. That's so nice.
So cute.
I also like the idea that maybe like, I don't know if Emlyn has like met firbolgs very often. I don't know about Vader, but like I feel like it makes more sense to them. Seeing a bunch of firbolgs in one place, they're like, oh, okay.
Yeah, a lot of Fig's mannerisms actually seem to come out with a lot of these firbolgs.
While these guys are like getting tea and stuff, Veda's just like wandering around looking at bookshelves.
Okay. A lot of the
touching some books.
Is there anything that you're looking for in particular, or are you just having a wander?
Nah, she's looking.
Okay. Most of the things that
She
you kind of...
She likes books.
Yeah. Most things you see are like technique of hoeing, you know.
Yes. Sounds like just for you,
intense
Veda.
sewing technique.
Yeah. You quickly get excited, open up, and realize it's about farming.
Yeah, to be honest, like Vader discards it, and Emlyn is like, "Go on then." Emlyn's never been very good at it, so.
The intricacies of a teapot. Everyone's like, "Fuck yeah."
Yeah, and it seems to be like a lot of talk of agriculture and how to sow seeds on difficult terrain, and a lot of
That is quite interesting, actually.
Yeah, and like there's kind of more scientific things of types of plants and arcane natures of certain plants, how to make healing potions. You also, you know, it's mostly like that. It's mostly nature-based books. As you sit down and have your teas, he says, we do have some books, maybe on firbolgs, but not really the place for it. I don't really know every book in this area. You could take time to have a look around. It would probably be in the creature section, and kind of points up to the very, very, very top. This is in the 3rd floor. There should be books up there about it.
All right, Emlyn drinks some of the tea and heads off. I guess it's probably quite a big tea.
Yeah.
I wants to go and try and look for anything like that.
Okay. Make an investigation check.
Can I help?
Sure.
Oh, no need.
That's a 21, yeah.
Okay. So as you kind of walk up, Vida, are you going with him, or are you just still wandering?
I feel like she probably will wander for a bit by herself, and then when she gets bored of that, she'll just find them.
Okay.
And be like,
I feel like Fig's is traveling with
Yes.
tea and cake.
Yeah. And you see like a lot of firbolgs. It's mostly firbolgs, not a lot of humans or anyone do this. But you just see firbolgs either eating apples or just have like crumbs down their chest holding tea while like looking for books. But all the humans seem to be very more respectful of the books.
Oh, this is Emlyn's kind of library. I feel like maybe Vader like finds them sitting on the floor with just like half eating cake and stuff, with like a bunch of books on the floor open around them.
Yeah.
And like some of them are about firbolg, and then a couple of them about like how to grow strawberries. Just like
Yeah.
An in-depth detail.
Yeah.
You find like a good amount of books on lore of strange creatures in this section, but there's one in particular that seems to catch your eye, Fig. It's more of a deep history of the world before the dark age of Arcana. And it seems to be a very old tome. You could see there was writing on the outside, but it's now kind of scratched off, and it was mostly on a whim that you opened the front page, and it seemed to be one of the topics was firbolgs and their allegiances to an empire that no longer exists.
I just like put the cake in my mouth. I'm just like, I'm not even using like a fork. I'm just kind of lifting the plate to my mouth and just like eating it.
Okay.
So I take the book over and sit with Emlyn.
Yeah. As you kind of like flick through, Emlyn, you notice this book is very, very old and shouldn't probably be touched by hands without proper care, but nevertheless, Fig kind of goes through, and it's probably not as old as, it's probably a recopy, but as you kind of hit to that section, there is a drawing of a family that very much looks like Fig's tribe of firbolgs. They all have these fawn-like features, and it describes this large tree, and it says southward of the sea was this unique firbolg tribe that seemed to almost spring out of this tree and take care of it. Not much is known about their ways, but are kept to themselves and are no threat to the Empire.
Gasps. Emlyn, look, I must be descendant of these guys. Maybe where they live is where my family's from. Or at least they might be around that area.
Yeah, as far as Emlyn knows, like south of the sea is like crossing the entire continent compared to the island that they're from, right?
It could either be the continent you're on or further south of the continent. It's hard to say. There's many seas.
Yeah, and they don't find like, I don't know, they don't know anything about like where it might be or like a big tree or where they might look up. I guess if it's a nature library, they could look up anything about the tree or...
Yeah, okay. As you kind of try cross-reference it with various bits and pieces.
Does it say what kind of tree it was?
It seemed to be a large oak tree.
Okay.
Fig?
Yes?
Didn't you say that you slept in a huge tree in the Feywilds?
Yeah, there was a large tree where I slept, but I don't... This isn't the Feywilds. This is...
No,
this is the
but
material plane.
maybe the Fey was echoing your home.
Well, maybe. But I don't know where it was in relation to that. So I don't know.
How about we look here for anything about the tree, and then we can go off and get sandwiches. Okay. I mean the tree and your family's the most, and we'll do that first.
Okay, that sounds good.
After a little while of trying to cross-reference places of note where large trees are, I mean, it's the kind of place for it. You do see things of mostly in the age of Arcane, which now was probably 5,000 years ago was the end of the age of Arcana, you know, and that time period people say lasted 15,000 years before the Dark Age came, but a lot of the knowledge there were lost, and a lot of places find it hard to really tell time periods. But you do find this map in one of these old books that talks about the continent smashing together, and you find out that this was bringing of nations from the gods joining up forces, and one of them describes this. You see the far North Sea, and then on the map you see this large tree on the far right side of this, and from the maps that you have or have seen, this looks to be the far right of this continent that you are on, and it seems to be where the mountain ranges that you lie in between was where the mountains smashed together, or the continent smashed together at some point.
So my family must be close by then, if it says that it's like here in the big trees on the map, and that's where they're descendant of. So I don't know why they leave.
I mean, you've got to understand that this far on the map would take you weeks, and Emlyn's like holding it up.
Yeah, I mean, like the map's
maybe making
all
a bit of a crap
weirdly
guess.
scaled as well. Like, the tree is probably the way it's sized seems to be like majority of the continent. But it's all weirdly scaled and not really any real direction, except that you know it's on the far right. So
like on the far east of the continent, we don't really know how far up or down.
Yeah, it's like somewhere in the east of this continent.
Okay, I think Emlyn gets out a wee scrap of paper and tries to sort of like copy it down.
Okay. As you kind of write it down, and, you know, there's no like real sense of settlements or lakes it mostly has this mountain range, a large tree, and a couple of weird marks in the ground of 3 large circles. And you have no idea or point of reference of what those are.
Here,
Maybe they're
Fig,
big rocks. What?
you weren't in the Feywild for like thousands of years, were you? All this stuff's
No.
really well. Okay. It's just all the
I
maps
lived-
and things are very old.
Well, firbolgs only live to like 500, and I'm 30, so
But how long have you been 30 for?
30 years.
Okay, well, I, maybe it's nothing. I think Ellen just doesn't know anything about it.
Yeah, I
I
mean,
think
most
they've heard
people
like
don't.
completely contradictory like fairy stories, and they're not really convinced if it's real. So every time they guess something, it could be like it
Yeah,
could
'cause
be
it does
close to
say,
the
like,
mark, or it could be
This
like complete
large
nonsense.
tree,
Yeah,
and he lived by a large tree, so he's a bit like, wait. I know I lived in the Feywilds, but
I mean,
maybe that's that bit.
a lot of
I don't know the Feywilds.
lore from that time period, most of it is considered fiction. So like what you see on the map could be from a folk story that someone just taken out of context and rewritten as like non-fiction. It's hard to really say whether, it could be in a story of like this continent smashed together through the gods and this one tree stood alone among a ruined continent, and then someone's just been like, oh, that seems like true because that was a crazy time period of life. Hard to really say. And it's kind of like all merges together, and you kind of cross-reference books that may not make sense but seem to give understanding to it.
Yeah, I think that Emlyn like wants to find something that's useful, but they don't really know if they're just like humoring Fig and
Yeah.
Fig made it up or whatever. But either way, they like copy down a wee map and stuff and like like very seriously have like looked through the books and like put everything away carefully before they head off.
Yeah. During next session I'll make a mock map of this so you can see.
Yeah, cool. Is Vader looking for anything else in the library, or are we all just like kind of on the same track?
Yeah, no, she's just like kind of poking about. She's like quite interested in the Feywilds, so she's like, "Oh, this is interesting."
Yeah.
Does she look up like books about the Feywild or try and see if there's any here, or just kind of?
Yeah, like if there is anything, but
Yeah, make an investigation check.
I feel like it'd be interesting to know whether it like matches up with Fig's
Mm.
description
Yeah.
at all.
18.
18. Nice. Okay. So if they kind of looking around ancient lore of the world, you look more for Feywild. As you inquire, you are put into the right direction of what seems to be folks and tales of the Feywild. Some talk of people being coaxed by strange spirits of the forest to do things for them, or charmed, or but a lot of them seem to be old wives' tales of, make sure your kids don't go out in the forest, otherwise they'll be eaten by sprites or various.
Yeah, and maybe it's those ones that like Emlyn recognizes and starts just sort of like going off on a tangent, but it's like absolute nonsense. And they're just like, yeah, and there are these hands made of teeth that come out if you don't leave a saucer of milk outside, because then you get stolen away by the teeth monsters. No, you don't have that story.
And like
Didn't
you
see
do eventually, as you kind of
monsters.
come through it, you do see like strange creatures like that. But
Right. I think that makes Emlyn like believe it a bit less, because they're like,
yeah.
I think maybe they don't believe any of the stories.
Yeah, you do see that someone was very, very into believing that the Feywild was right, and it seems to be tucked into the, the lore of the world kind of section. It's kind of non-fiction. It seems to be a smaller book, as you kind of pull it out, and it says on the front with very scrawled handwriting, "Why the Feywild is real." As you kind of open it up, it seems to be a diary of
Aliens.
sorts. Yeah, it seems to be a diary of sorts of explaining, I saw this in this forest, and I swear by the gods that it was true, and was lost in this strange, never darkening forest for a while, and came out and everything had changed. I don't know where I was, but it is true. Strange creatures charmed me away. And it's signed by Dugan Harmon.
Dugan Harmon.
Yeah.
I'm just just imagining that there's an illustration in this book that's like that photograph of Bigfoot, but it's just a drawing of Fig.
Pretty much, yeah.
I believe.
Yeah, very blurry. Yeah.
It has like strange, not very well drawn sketches. You can see like ink marks splodged everywhere, as it was written down in quite haste. But who knows who Dugan Harmon is?
Dugan Harmon. All I'm hearing is Dugan Hyman.
No, Dugan Harmon.
Dugan Hyman.
As you try to find any more on him, this seems to be this small diary that he seems to have written.
He put in here.
It's not even on the it's not even on the docket of the library. It's just some guy just shoved his diary.
Yeah, for sure. It does seem to be like oddly placed in like where it should be in the T sections and like P, like shoved right in to the side, and it's very like obvious that's not supposed to be here. Why it drew your interest in the first place.
All right, let's get sandwiches. Is everyone sorted?
Yeah.
Okay. Where would you like to go for sandwiches?
Did any of the cafes look rather nice that we walked past?
Or
had, big portions? That's more what I mean by nice.
Yeah, probably have hefty portions. A lot of pies and things are made as well. As you kind of make your way out of the library, everyone kind of waving you goodbye. You make your way back out into the main area, the wood-touched district. There's plenty of cafes around. Everyone just seems to be sitting around drinking tea. The amount of firbolgs just skyrockets down. There's just none out here. As you kind of come to one cafe, 2-story wooden building, it seems to be people eating outside. A half-elf person seems to be serving large kind of sandwiches and plates, pies for people in the afternoon stopping by from the canal.
Okay, we'll find a nice seat.
Okay.
Is there an outside patio?
Yeah.
Let's go outside.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe we sit outside and we eat, like, I don't know, maybe like talking about the stuff that we found there. Maybe like Emlyn, like mid-sandwich is going to be like, I mean, on the map it looks like it's a long way east, but I can't say I've got anywhere else to go, so if you wanted to head in that direction, I wouldn't mind.
Yeah. I don't remember a big tree. But, my family might be from a different bit. Maybe, I don't know.
But in the book, it was the only ones that looked like you. And they're an extra big tree. So I feel like that's the best lead we've got. And besides, the further we go, the more likely we are to be able to talk to people and see if they've, if they've seen anyone else who looks like you.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, they're around there somewhere. And if they're not, maybe they can tell us where they went. Maybe people know where they are. Sadly, eat some pie.
I feel like Veda doesn't eat as much as these two does.
I
Yeah,
want
she
to point
definitely
out that, like, Emlyn is still small. Emlyn's not eating the same portions. Emlyn likes
Yeah.
hearty food, but they're not just eating, like, their body weight. They're eating a normal portion of pie.
Yeah, I feel like you just eat, for your size, a lot of food.
Well, it's like you need your 11sies and noonsies, what are they called?
How halflings roll.
Yeah.
Naturally hungry. You see a familiar face, seem to be almost panicked slightly, looking around. He kind of notices you. You notice that this man is Bellaman, the half-elf that you helped rid the farm of the fungus. And he kind of looks towards you and runs over. He says, "Oh, thank goodness. I thought I didn't know where you were. Someone said that you were over here. I'm happy to see you. Oh, you kind of like.
You alright?
Yes. I went back up to the farm after it burned down and everything, and I found something.
What'd you find?
A trap door. And I didn't really notice that there was a trap door before. I mean, I spend most of my life there, but it was. I was too worried to open it. Maybe if you're not too busy. I'm sorry, I'm interrupting your lunch. But I'm just worried if there's more of that purple root down there that could spread out.
The fire didn't burn up the door?
It's as black charred as how I found it. As their floor was stone mostly. It seemed to be hidden under one of the rugs.
Guys, did we nearly miss the main quest and Sandy's having to get us back on track? Definitely supposed to find it.
No?
We were just like, okay, pumpkins are gone, see you later.
Yeah, exactly. Like, well, sorted. Yeah, no, like, I figure we're going to want to go and help. Go and see what's there.
Okay.
Anyone? If everyone else is on board?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Main quest, I suppose. Okay.
I guess, I mean, oh, maybe we should go get some, like, healing potions.
They said there's a magic shop, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let's definitely do that.
Let's get some healing potions.
As Bellaman says, well, if you're going shopping, I will meet you up at the farm. You still remember where it is?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay. Well, I will meet you there. Thanks again for everything. But yes, I will see you up there. He kind of starts running off again.
Can I roll insight to see if he's all mushy? Or has, like, auras of the mush?
Okay, sure. Yeah.
25.
Again. That insight.
Nice.
And
that's not even a crit.
no, it's not. That's 2 below a crit. He doesn't seem to be different. He seems to be tired from running. He has some bags under his eyes, but no, he seems to be pretty sane.
He's not mushy, but his fly is down.
So, as Bellman is running off, you guys are heading to a magic shop of some kind.
Yes,
is that
I
right?
want the
You guys
health
want to pick up some
potions.
healthy potions?
I can make health potions, but we don't have a day to make them, so I will wait.
I want to know, I feel like Emma wants to know how much they cost. Primarily.
Well, so as you head to the main market where you assume where one is, you get pointed in the direction of the Dreaming Hydra. It's a small shop, not particularly big, down one of the streets off the main square. And you just see this cast iron sign with Sleeping Hydra on it, with all the heads kind of curled around it of the Hydra, and it's pretty well detailed. And the building's, like I said, it's pretty small, 1 story, made of kind of nice brick. As you enter inside, there's small glass cabinets filled with jewelry. There's swords and bags and various things on the walls, and a woman, very big smile, moon elf, very, very pale skin, shaved at the sides, extremely curly ginger hair at top, with red mage robes and a staff that's sitting to her side with a blue crystal on top, and she's very much just smiling at you as you enter into the store. She says, "Oh, hello, anything I can help you with?"
Hello. We're looking for health potions.
"Oh yes, I have plenty of health potions. What kind of size would you like? The small, the bigger one?"
Probably the smallest ones.
Yeah, probably the smallest one.
Yes.
How much do they cost?
For the smallest ones, she kind of takes like a small basket out and lays them on the table. She seems to have about 3. She says, "Those are 50 gold pieces each."
Oh no.
Is there a deal if we get more than one of them?
Nope.
What if I can make healing potions, so I
Okay.
can make you some more if we buy them, and if you make them at a cheaper price, I can make you some.
Make a persuasion check.
I'm not persuasive. Boom. 15. Not bad.
Okay.
I have no persuasion.
I'm gonna see how she feels about it.
Fuck.
Just seeing that she rolled a 17. She says,
Anti-persuasion 17.
so, let me see. You're going to give me healing potions if I give you healing potions. Is that correct?
Well, if you give us for them for a cheaper price.
I will say, I'm not sure if I can trust you to come back with more healing potions. I do not know your magic. I've never seen you before. I don't know what kind of magic you do. Can you even do magic? I don't know.
Yeah. I am a druid. I have no druidy cantrips.
He can do magic, and he has these little berries and things, and he comes from the forest. He knows what he's talking about.
Yes,
Yeah.
I have good berries. I will show one, but I will not give her one. 'Cause I
She's-
need them.
That just looks like a berry. Like, there's not enough proof to say that
It's
you'll
a
do it.
magic berry.
But I will give you a chance to prove yourself.
Okay, I will not fail you.
I can just imagine Fig turning and running out the door. She says, but I will give you a 10 gold discount if you can make me 2 health potions in the next week.
Actually, no. 'Cause
See,
that's-
I know it was a scam.
It's not a scam. That's just not a very good deal. They cost like a little bit to make each. You know, I have to get all the things for it. It's got the ingredients in the herbalism kit, and I need 25 gold. So I need 25 gold to make 2. That's 50, and then we're only saving 30 gold. That's not fair. So I won't do it. I will just pay full price and not be happy with the service.
Well, here, we've got these wee berries, haven't we? I mean, I think I fancy my chances.
Well, how about something else? I have plenty of various things. How about this potion? And she takes out, and you just see this swirling fire inside this glass bottle. And she says, this is what makes you breathe fire.
Veda's like, I will take one of the healing potions.
Yeah, I will take one too.
Ha! Perfect.
Grumpy.
Emlyn
gold.
doesn't take one, but maybe like hisses at Fig, asking for a berry instead.
I'll give Emlyn. How many do I give Emlyn? I'll give Emlyn 4 berries.
Okay.
And I'll give Veda. Is that right? 3. I'll give Veda 3, so I have 3 as well.
As you hand over the gold, and she hands you both your healing potions. And she says, is there anything else you would like?
Fig's really grumpy.
And he says, well, if you are a druid, how about this? And she kind of goes to the side and shows you this really beautiful wooden staff with kind of green glow on the inside, and seems to be small flowers kind of growing out of it. And she hits it on the ground, and flowers appear at the top of it. And she says, look, it's a staff of flowers. And she like spins it a couple of times.
Whoa, that's really cool. I can't do that. But with that staff, I could. How much is it?
She's like spinning it around. She says, this one, I'd say it's 50 gold.
Shit. Can I have that? I just paid 50 gold. Can I have that on top of the healing potion for the same 50 gold?
No.
Is that not how it works?
I mean, it was worth a shot.
She does not trust you in the slightest. No, it's another 50 gold.
I have 10.
And she kind of
So-
points to you, seeing that Fig is out of money. She kind of points to you, Veda, and says, I noticed that you have a rapier on your side.
I do.
Maybe this would suit you. And she throws you a cane. If you tap it on the floor, if you do it, as you tap it onto the floor, the cane turns into a rapier. Perfect for hiding a rapier, I suppose.
I'm not planning on hiding a rapier anytime soon.
Well, you never know.
No, thank you. Just like hands it back.
Yeah, and she like flicks it back into a cane. It's very nice, pretty simple looking cane. And she says, "Well, if you ever need to sneak into somewhere where you're not allowed weapons, I suppose."
I will keep it in mind, but I don't need it right now. Thank you.
Is there anything else I can do for you?
Do you have any like armor or anything like that that might help us?
I have this cloak. And she like flutters it out. This nice, dark Prussian blue cloak. And she says, "This will help deflect blows that would otherwise hit you.
Mm-hmm.
I call it the Cloak of Protection."
Ooh, how much is that? Is it 10 gold? Wait, 10 gold and 6 silver.
Well, no, it is 400 gold pieces for this one in particular.
Help.
So save your money and come back when you're ready. And whatever you need these healing potions for, I hope, whatever it is, pays well.
I don't know.
We shall see.
We might be back because I kind of want that staff.
Very well. It was very nice meeting you all.
What is your name again?
She kind of like closes her eyes. Not sure I trust you enough.
You don't have to. We only just met, but I was just wondering what your name was. But if you don't want to say, it's fine.
Come back another time. Strange man.
Veda, let's go. She's kind of weird. Gonna leave. I whispered that so she didn't hear.
Okay.
Veda.
Did you though? Do you not have to roll for that? Maybe.
What's
Did you have
that?
to roll to whisper?
No. I don't think so. She kind of looks a bit ditzy anyway. She doesn't. Not the best at perceiving things.
I'm very perceptive. I see she is weird.
Yeah, for real. She definitely has a screw loose somewhere. Okay, so happy with your potions? And
Oh, I just realized it's because she's a fucking moon elf.
in my lore, all moon elves are extremely strange. It's kind of a thing from our very first D&D campaign. We
It is.
made moon elves the strangest.
Lovable weirdos.
Yeah, really are.
I love
So,
them.
as you guys exit Greenfall Square, where would you like to head?
Guess we'll head to the farm.
Yeah.
As you head out of the city, you see the fields full of people working away, continuing with the harvest and getting stuff prepared. As it's kind of like halfway through harvest now, after the festival. You guys make your way up to the ruins of Bellaman's farmhouse. And he seems to be just sitting, waiting for you, kind of twiddling his fingers.
I waved him.
Perfect! Come quick!
We come quick.
Yes.
As you guys head over, he kind of points down the ground and you see this kind of burned hatch where a bit of wood is splintered inwards. And he says, "Look, down there." And you see this iron ring attached to this hatch. He says, "I didn't want to go down and explore. It is far beyond me. God knows what's down there."
Did you open it at all?
Just a slightly, but I couldn't see anything. It was dark.
I'm gonna do what I should have done last time.
Okay.
Which I didn't know.
If you want to.
I'll wait till we open up the hatch.
Okay. Who wants to open the hatch?
Do you want to see if it's like trapped or anything, Emlyn?
Oh my god, is that something I can do? Yeah.
Yes.
Emlyn wants to do that.
Okay. Make an
I don't know
investigation
how to
check.
do that. Ooh.
It doesn't seem to be trapped. As you
It's
kind of
an
put your
8,
knife
so
down.
who knows?
Yeah, an 8, yeah.
Emlyn is just a bit like slapdash about it. They're like, "Oh, I'm sure it's fine." After sort of like wiggling around with some tools for a wee bit. Yeah, in fact, maybe they just open it.
There's
They just
half
like
of it.
tug to see if they can pull on it after like sort of vaguely like looking at it briefly with their eyes.
Yeah. Yeah, it doesn't seem to be as you lift open the hatch. There's ladders going down. Obviously, nothing explodes in your face. It doesn't seem to be trapped. It is open.
I'm very good at this.
Yeah. As you...
Okay, I am gonna cast Detect Magic.
As you look down, just trying to see if there's any magic. You do get faint magic essence coming from downstairs, yeah.
How long does it last? He lasts 10 minutes. Okay.
Yeah, that's a while.
Do you know what kind of magic it is with that spell, or is that not how it works?
Yes.
I've never used it before.
I believe you do.
I have, but I don't know.
Yeah, it says.
Gasps.
And you
Love
learn
it.
the school of magic, if any. So, I guess the magic you feel is conjuration? Conjuring?
Oh. Guys, I feel a presence of conjuring magic down there.
And what exactly is conjuring magic?
It's like summoning creatures and stuff, I think. I don't know, I don't really do
Doesn't
that.
sound very good.
No, but that might be what's causing all the roots and the pumpkin zombies.
Does anyone have a light to see down there? Something they can throw down?
Produce flame down it.
Yeah.
Well, what if there's something valuable or sentimental and important? This poor guy's just lost his house. I think we probably ought to be very careful with it.
I've never seen down there before.
Okay, well, I mean, still.
Maybe.
There's
You
just
never
loads
know.
of paper down there.
And also, what if there's like clues about how this happened? Or his brother or something?
Well, you can hold.
I could go and have a look. Message back to you.
Do we have like torches? I feel like they normally
Yeah.
come in the like starting pack.
If you have an explorer's pack, yeah. I think
You
most-
could also
Right.
hold produce flame in your hand, like a torch.
I think maybe we should do that.
Okay.
Okay. So who's going down first?
Should we be sneaky about it?
I mean, I can try, but I can't put some fire in my hands to see. I'd just be sneaking around in the dark.
I'll go first.
Will you be alright going first?
I'm a big girl. Can take
Jo-
care of myself.
Do you want us to come down with you, or
We'll
like,
be right
wait up
down
here?
after you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll
See,
go.
tell us what you see, and then we'll come down.
So you're just producing flame in your hand and walking down?
I don't think Veda even needs to do that.
No, I
She's
think
got
it's
dark
just your.
vision.
Oh, okay. She's
She's got dark vision and her hair is almost kind of
Yeah.
fire. She's all set.
So as you kind of like peer down the dim light from the sunlight kind of coming in, it seems to be, a large, just singular room. There doesn't seem to be any of the moss that was here before. You do see a bunch of crates marked with KMC and various glass bottles all over the place.
Is there like anything organic down here? Like any plants or sign of people?
Make a perception check.
12.
Okay, as you're kind of just like, as you're kind of like peering around, trying to see if there's anything organic or traces of humans. You mostly see the ground is mostly dirt. You do see parts moss and just from the dampness around here, but nothing to really say that it's dangerous or.
Is there any doors or anything? Or is it just this room?
It just seems to be this room down here.
Okay. She's gonna just call back up and be like, there doesn't seem to be anyone down here. Just crates.
Emlyn comes down.
Yeah, if we'll go come down after him, then.
So as you kind of walk down the bottom, about 4 or 5 crates, all with their lids popped off. There seem to be a bunch of hay inside. You see pretty large glass vials, and then on the side of the boxes it says KMC in kind of cursive writing, and it seems to be stamped on or branded on.
The large glass vials, are they in the boxes of straw?
You see some that have been placed back in. The corks at the top have been lifted off, and there's some just strewn around the floor.
But it looks like they came out of the boxes, like they were
Yeah.
sent here.
For sure.
Can we look at, does any of the vials still have liquid in them?
It doesn't seem to be. They're actually just like completely cleaned out.
Where do I
Can we-
sense the magic coming from?
You sense it coming from the bottle. The
The
bottles.
bottle.
Well, I guess can we look through them to see if there's anything else in there?
Sure. Make an investigation check.
Can I ask Veda to come closer with her hair so that I can see it properly?
Sure. Yeah.
Sure. She'll make it a little bit brighter.
I'll
It's
say
a 12, unless you count that as an
it's help.
assist.
Yeah, I guess it was helping. So 18.
Cool.
As Veda came closer and you kind of got a better look, you kind of put your hand further into these big crates to see if you could find another one. You do find one that has its cork off, and you see the corner of this square kind of vial has purple roots growing inside of it.
Emlyn shows it to the others.
Yeah. And you just see it slightly moving. But like I said, it's probably a fig palm-sized vial. They're pretty big. And this kind of like purple root that just seems to be left. And it's quite moist on the inside as well.
Is KMC the same as the letter that we found? Or was there was no information on that about who it came from?
No. It just said
Does Vita have any idea what KMC stands for?
I don't think so. I don't think it's recognizable. Emlyn, make a history check.
Ooh, it's an 11.
The branding seems familiar to be... you don't know what KMC stands for, but this looks like some sort of, a merchant's brand. It needs to be registered somewhere, and the brand has to be registered so that it's distinct somewhere. But you've never seen KMC before, and you know that.
Yeah, I guess maybe like Emlyn kind of relates that, like, seems familiar, but I can't say I did any business with them myself. And maybe, I guess we climb back. If there's nothing else that we can see apart from the boxes, I think that probably we go and climb back out.
Yeah, is there any
I think we want to show the guy.
Mm-hmm.
Can we take a quick peek around for any secret doors? Like, I know you said there's no doors, but is there any like secret doors?
Okay.
Oh, good shout.
Make an investigation check.
Yes.
15.
Okay. Called it just in time. Okay, so as you kind of look around, try to feel any walls, you do find a brick that's loose. As you kind of like wobble it free, there does seem to be a letter inside it that's been stamped and wax sealed shut.
Emlyn, look at this. And I'm gonna pull it down and hand it to Emlyn. They understand these things more than I do.
Yeah, I think maybe I want to get out of the hole so I can like read it properly, and also so that we can reassure the guy who's presumably still waiting above that like it's safe, but it looks like that's where the things came from.
Should we do something with these bottles? Maybe like burn them or something?
I think after we've shown this one to the guy, then yeah, we should.
Finish the job.
Fig very seriously looking down, like illuminated by fire from below.
Cocks his finger like a gun.
Slowly zooms in on his completely straight face.
So you guys heading back up?
Sure.
Yes.
Okay.
I was hoping that'd go deeper so I can turn into a spider. Never mind.
No, it's just like a little inset in the wall. As you walk back up, you notice the wax seal is got the same letters KMC on it, and it is sealed.
You think you're gonna say CYMK?
And it's not opened yet.
I mean, I feel like maybe Emlyn wants to open it, but like sliding a tool or like a flat knife underneath it, so that if they needed to, they could like heat up the bottom again and make it look like it was closed.
Okay. So are you hiding it away right now?
No,
Okay.
I just think like force of habit, they're opening it in such a way that like, or they're trying to, that it could be closed up afterwards.
Okay. So yeah, as you kind of reach the top, Bellamin's kind of sitting there, holding his hands close to his chest, hoping you guys are okay. As you appear out, and he says, "Oh, is everything okay? Did you see anything down there?"
Yeah, I guess Emlyn's given the vial to someone else to explain while they look at the letter.
We found these magical conjuring potions? Question mark.
Okay.
I guess we'll just burn these because we don't want it to open up and spread somehow again.
Okay. I mean, there's nothing else here, so feel free to burn ahead.
Cool.
Are you gonna open the letter then?
Yeah.
Okay.
I
Make
feel
a
like-
sleight of hand check to open it.
Okay. Supposed to be good at that. Oh, but it's an 8. It was a 2 + 6.
Oof.
Yikes.
Your dagger's a bit too fat to hit under to make it like a lot cleaner, as it just kind of like tears the wax seal a little bit.
Emily's trying to do some stealthy shit, and it's just like, whoop! Just like flings it.
A dagger flies off into the distance.
Yeah.
So as you cut it, it kind of like breaks the seal a little bit. As you open up the letter, it says, "It has been great working with you, and I hope the shipment finds you well. It is almost time to have our plan into action. We will be setting up within the Canal Port district in a warehouse. We'll have more of our shipment there. Come by in a couple of weeks and we shall be there."
Is it dated?
It is not dated.
Is it signed off from anyone?
No. They seem to be very good at not signing this off. But they seem to go under the ploy of KMC, whatever that is.
CYMK.
RGB.
KFC.
Yeah, I guess I think Emlyn tells the others, but like quietly, because they don't really want to worry this guy. Maybe Emlyn tells the others quietly, and then to the guy is like, "Well, glad that we caught that last bit. That's all sorted now. I hope you don't have to deal with anything else."
No, I just wanted to be sure that
No,
everything was
it was a
fine.
good idea. Yeah, thanks for coming to get us. We wouldn't have wanted this to come back and again cause any more trouble for you.
Well,
But now it's completely resolved.
he says, "Did you meet with Alexander?
Yeah,
did.
and Veda really gave him a good talking to.
And you got
But-
paid, right?"
Oh, no, we didn't.
No, we didn't get paid.
Were we supposed to?
I did say, but it was really up to you.
Tell the truth, I'm
I
kind
want
of
a
used to
staff.
dealing with these kind of bureaucratic types, so it didn't seem like a surprise to me that he was all talking about forms and paperwork and his higher ups.
Yes, like I said, he's much more of a pencil pusher than a real captain of the guard.
Is there always no guards in your town, or is it just around the festival?
No, always.
He was talking about some guild. Normally he said they would do it for you, but they were away.
Yeah, the bannermen, they're good people, but they can be lazy if the pay's not good, and sometimes we have to pay them to watch certain things. But they are good people. They are down, I believe the town was saying, they're down in Kingsentry Mire with some job. That's why it's pretty bare right now. They've been gone for a good couple of months.
Do the letters, was it KMC?
KMC, yeah.
KMC mean anything to you?
Not really. And he kind of like, let's see if he remembers. I'm gonna roll as a 3. He says, "No, not really. I don't." In what regards, or just in general?
I thought it might be something to do with the Kinsentry Mire, or it doesn't matter. Just
Okay.
trying to figure out, where this stuff came from.
Go to the ports? I don't know. I don't know
I
really who
think-
to ask. Maybe you can ask Alexander. Maybe with all
That's
his
a good
papers.
idea.
No.
Maybe we will. Thanks.
I have that bottle still, right?
Yep.
Can I see if by looking at it I can figure out what the origin of this thing was? Like, is it from this plane, or is it from a different plane, or what's going on there?
Yeah, or like, did it grow?
Yeah, is it?
Was it something that was in the tube, or did it like completely come out of nowhere because it's magic? Or
Or is it like natural to this world?
If you want to see if it's natural for this world, make a nature check.
Shit! Don't make a nature check.
You don't.
Yep.
You haven't been here long enough to know.
Guys, I know grass. That's about it.
You've never seen anything like it. You know it's magical in some way, but you do not know how it's came to be, whether it's from a different plane of existence or maybe it's natural to a place. You just do not know.
Should I keep a hold of this one just in case we need to like reference it or something?
I
Should we just burn it all?
don't know if that's a good idea.
Okay. Well, I need to put it back downstairs, so I'll go do that. Well, you guys get ready to go, I guess.
I think that Imlin is keen to go off and find this warehouse. Like, they're not sure, but if it's that this thing is going to grow, they want to
Oh.
try and catch it as soon as possible.
Sandy, can I talk to it? It's alive, so is it technically a leaf?
Are you going to put your hand in and try
No, it doesn't. I don't have to touch it.
Oh, you don't have to touch it? Okay.
No, I can just kind of look at it.
Okay. As you kind
Now
of...
that I'm holding it, I'm like, wait.
Yeah.
Hello.
As you kind of
Hello?
look at it and you kind of zone out a little bit, what do you say to it?
Well, first I'm just like, hello? Is there someone in here I can talk to? And then do I get like a vibe that's listening?
You feel that something's there. Yeah. Like a sentience, but something strange about it. Almost
Do I have-
hollow.
Are you from this plane?
You just get like an emptiness. Like a hollowed out tree that's, or like something that's lost its spirit. It just doesn't feel right. Where you would normally get like vibes of feelings, you just have this hollow nothingness.
Are you in pain?
Same feeling.
Oh, guys, this guy. Something's really like. I knew something was wrong with it, but something's really wrong with it. Like, it feels like it doesn't have anything in it. Like it's empty, like a husk.
Well, how about we get rid of this one here? Because I think we're probably going to go and find more somewhere else.
Okay, I'll put it downstairs so it burns with the other ones, so at least it doesn't go alone.
And maybe you can talk to the other ones if we find more. Can you do that? Didn't you
Yeah.
talk to a tree before? Yeah.
Is there any other ones downstairs, or is just this one bottle?
Just the one you found reading through the rest of the box.
Okay, I'm gonna kind of like tuck it in to a pot into the box, like under the hay. Make sure it's comfy. I feel bad for it.
Okay. So yeah, you kind of make this nice little nest for it. And then you just light it up?
No, I say I'm sorry to it as well.
Okay. You
That
just
you've
get
had
nothing.
to live this sort of life. Okay. I don't really want to burn it while I'm down there.
I mean, you see like there's like a corner full of these boxes and vials and things. But there's nothing else that could really set on fire except from those?
Okay. I will go up to the ladder, I guess.
Mhm.
And then just produce flame at it.
Okay. As you launch it,
And
the
scurry
hay that was
upstairs.
protecting it starts catching on fire and it starts to burn again.
I climb as fast as I can.
I mean,
Up
there's
the ladder.
not an extreme rush as you head back up and
I act like there totally is.
yeah, as you sit up now with everyone. And Bellaman says, "Is it done? Is everything set up?
Yeah, he was so sad.
What was wrong with it?"
He was just not right, you know. He just. This is probably best for him. He can move on to another life. Apart from this hollow one.
Does Fig believe in reincarnation?
Apparently he does.
It's canon now.
Yeah.
Is it like, or does he just believe that you're moving on to a different plane and doing other things?
Bit of both, maybe.
Okay.
I think he knows that there. Well, he believes that there's like an afterlife kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
But reincarnation can like wiggle its way in there as well.
Okay.
Bit of both.
What would you guys like to do now?
I think Emlyn's trying to hurry everyone to the Canal Port district.
Okay.
To look for this warehouse.
Okay. Cool. So
Yep. Let's go.
as Bellaman says, if you're gonna go see Alexander again, make him pay you. He seems to be not all with it all the time, but he's a smart man.
All
Okay.
right. Good to know.
He will fumble around and make you forget what you mean.
I know the type.
He's smarter than he seems. Just don't make him play you like that.
Think I would enjoy yelling at him somewhere.
I'm sure there's a lot of people that would like to do that. He always gets you to fill out some form or...
I had to do that.
Yeah, so-
I maybe think that was a good idea, though.
Yeah, you did need papers.
You don't have papers?
No.
He does now, kind of.
They're being processed.
It was nice seeing you again, and thank you again for indulging me in this. It was good to be thorough.
It's no problem. I hope you're doing alright. I mean, last time we saw wasn't in the best of circumstances. This also is not the best of circumstances, but it's not as...
We're probably going to leave you be now,
Yep.
but thank you, and we wish you the best.
Thank you.
Yep.
I will...
Take care.
Thank you.
Emlyn is steering Fig away.
He says, if you're ever in need of anything, or I'll be sure to come by, say hi. If I need anything, you seem to be the only reliable people around here, so please go with joy, and I'll see you at some point in the future. As you make your way back into the town, passing through the main gates, and you want to head to the canal port?
Yes.
Okay. You ask around, and you're pushed down to this more the eastern part of town. You pass where the root touch district was, where you met the firbolgs, and instead of heading upwards, you head more south to the Morning Grace district, where you see a lot of mage types. And as you kind of walk through the main center, you see this large, almost very out of place, Gothic styled building, and it's huge, and it seems to have a lot of scholarly types walking around as you kind of pass curiously. You see a couple of other, eateries and various bits and pieces, a couple of inns.
Fig takes note on where to go for dinner.
Also,
did we pay for the cafe? They did not charge us. Did we just leave?
I think we can assume that we pay for the cafe
Yeah.
without
I
having
like to
be
assume that we
"Give them
left."
some money.
As
Fig tried to leave, and then had to sort of hurriedly
put money down.
Yeah, put money over the counter as Fig was just sort of wandering off with a huge pie.
This inn has ruined it for him because he now thinks all food just comes with the room.
Yeah, all food
No,
everywhere.
Emlyn's trying to teach him. Emlyn's pointing out the money on the board.
And you also see a lot of people wearing symbols of. You'd know this, Emlyn and Veda, to be Lathander. Pretty well respected, and you know a lot of questionable history has been happened with Lathander and Zisan. There seemed to be a big fallout between the two nations over him. As you head further south into this canal port, where you seem divided off from the main section of the city, and there's a large wall that seems to separate the canal port and the lower town and the other part of the city, and it kind of descends down the hill. You see only one guard at this section, and you see people coming and going down this area, and you see various large warehouses everywhere.
There are loads of warehouses.
Yeah, quite probably 4 or 5 large ones, and then a bunch of smaller ones. That just seems to be this whole area. There seems to be some residential areas, but mostly it's all warehouses.
Maybe Emlyn goes up to the guard to talk to them.
Okay. You can
and
see
is
him falling asleep on his spear slightly, just
okay.
boringly. This elven man, kind of gaunt features, and he's just kind of sitting there, just very bored.
Here, do you know anything about the warehouses around here? Business that goes on?
Yeah, a little bit of stuff. Is there someone that you're looking for?
Yeah, I'm a merchant in town looking for new business opportunities, but unfortunately, the person we were here to visit has passed. We were told that there is stock waiting from KMC in one of the warehouses here. Could you point us in the right direction?
I wouldn't know much about all the merchant stuff going. Best speak to the portmaster. And he kind of points with his finger, his head still kind of sitting on his spear, and he says, if you go to the main docks, he'll be down in there. Dwarven fellow, 2 big braids in his beard. He'll probably know about all that stuff. Sorry.
That's what we go and talk to the portmaster.
Okay, head down. You see a lot more stranger races. You see more dragonborns, half-orcs, and tieflings on this whole area.
Fig is amazed.
Compared to the more human dwarf.
Veda elbows Fig a little bit. It's just don't stare.
You also see some people with almost rock-like skin, and that seem to be walking around. And you also see, mostly on the port edge, you see about a 6-foot tall minotaur who seems to be walking alongside this portmaster. And he seems to have this big great sword on his back. He seems to be walking around. As you approach this dwarf, it says, "Right, can I help you with anything?"
Yeah, I feel like Emlyn says the same kind of thing and wants to know if anything will ring a bell or just talking about a shipment from KMC.
Yeah, he kind of like flicks through, and you kind of like, you can talk the lingo and you know all the right things to say to get him to talk because of your background. And he kind of flicks through and he says,
What's your background?
You feel like they said that they were a merchant with like enough confidence
yeah.
that there's like some truth to it.
Yeah, you probably hear like some like really weird words and stuff said that you know, it just seems to make sense to both of them. It's kind of like trucker lingo, I suppose, maybe.
You're speaking pigeon.
Yeah.
Well, to be honest, I feel like Fig doesn't really know about it, so even Emlyn talking about like a stock take, I feel
he's
like
just like,
Fig is like,
whoa.
whoa.
He's still thinking
Speaking the
about that
lingo.
Minotaur. He's like, shit, he's amazing.
Yeah, there seems to be KMC set up in. He kind of points to one of the smaller warehouses. It seems to. It's like one story. Sorry, it's a 2-story high building. And it seems to be stairs heading up. And it's probably like 100, 200 feet away from you. It says, "Yes, if you need to go in there, there's a fellow in there you could probably talk to. Maybe, I'm not sure. They came in only a couple of days ago. Most of their shipments are from Kingsentry, obviously, because they're the Kingsentry Merchant Company. Makes sense.
Of course.
So, yes, they've just came up from there just now. But if you need any business with them, that's where you'll find them."
All right. Emlyn thanks them and heads off.
Once they're like out of earshot, they're just going to be like, "Emlyn, you're very good at this. I am impressed."
Actually, that was kind of the problem. I wasn't very good at this.
I thought you were going to say I was too good at this. Had to leave.
Ultimate storyline. I bought everyone out. There was no competition. I had a complete monopoly.
Basically Amazon.
I mean, I dabbled here and there, and I was always quite good at talking to people, but it never seemed to go quite right. You know, when you've got perishable goods, or, you know, when you're talking to someone over a couple of drinks and it makes it sound like their merchandise is really good, it's easy to kind of say yes to things, but it only takes a couple of bad harvests, or, you know, things turning up, shipments in the wrong place, faulty goods, and I don't know, it's kind of more complicated over on the mainland than I thought it would be. But I mean, hopefully it sounds like I know what I'm talking about for this.
That's what I meant. You're good at charming these people.
I'm good at sounding like I know what I'm talking about.
Exactly. That's all you need right now.
Well, yeah, well, I'm glad it works for this. Unfortunately, it wasn't really enough in the past. Emlyn's like trying to look businesslike and like bustles over to this warehouse.
As you kind of head over to the warehouse, you see on the right side, as you kind of approach it, there's stairs going up, and you see like a door, and there's also, as you kind of like peer around the edge, this kind of main entrance, large kind of big two doors, and then a smaller single door at the side as well.
Do we see, is there someone there at the entrance, or?
No, it's completely closed. There doesn't seem to be anyone walking around this area.
Have we technically had a short rest?
No.
Shit.
Since when?
Since walking. Walking here.
I wouldn't say he's particularly rested. No.
I was taking a leisurely stroll.
What have you used up?
Oh, so I can get my detect magic back.
Alright.
But it's all open, like we can just walk in.
Do we have to be?
It's closed, but it's you don't know if it's open or not.
Are these people going to be dangerous mushroom people as well?
Well, we don't know yet, and I think until we know, we'd best pretend that we think they're upstanding merchants with no trouble, but it might be that they have loads of boxes of this stuff.
Okay. Why don't
And-
you like go in and do that talking that you were saying to that guy where it sounds like you're really professional and we would just look tough.
No, that sounds. Say you're my bodyguard, and you're
I was
both
gonna
my
say Vera, like,
bodyguards.
Vera flexes an arm, and it's like a
No,
little-
yeah, definitely both bodyguards actually. And Emlyn tries the door.
Okay,
Okay,
so
I'll look tough.
Are you walking up the stairs, or are you going for the main entrance?
Ooh.
Because
What would
a
the
So is it like?
businessman do?
Is it stairs up on the side, and then there's a different door in like round the side?
yeah, so it's like on the
Sorry, I'm so
side
bad at
area,
visualising
there's
stuff.
stairs going up and a single door, and then there's like the main front hangar doors.
Yeah, I think maybe stairs going up round the side,
Okay.
but trying to just like looking as confident as possible. Like, oh yeah, this is where I've been told to go.
Fig tries to look as tough as possible. He just like crosses his arms and pushes his biceps up.
Okay.
Classic.
So is Veda with you guys as well? Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. As you guys walk up the stairs and you knock on the door, you're all looking tough and ready to see whatever happens. Fig, you hear shuffling of stuff. Like you see, I think you probably see Fig's ears twitch, and you hear shuffling, and the closing of drawers, and then nothing.
Guys, there's someone in there and they're
Sorry.
closing drawers.
Did we open the door?
No, the door's still closed.
I just have
But they
stupid
heard us come
hearing.
up the stairs.
Mm-hmm.
There's people in there. I say quietly,
Well,
looking
I,
tough.
I try the door.
It's locked.
I try and pick the lock.
Why don't you just say that you're here to collect? What was his name? His brother? His shipment.
I mean, I will.
But I
But-
think you should do that before sneakily unlocking a door, because that might
But
look a
it's
bit
full-
shady.
I suppose so, but it's full of boxes of evil pumpkins. So you want me to just knock on the door and talk to them?
I don't know. I'm just here to look tough.
I mean, it just doesn't always go well for me. What do you think, Veda? Knock or just try and open it?
Knock and sound very, very annoyed.
I think probably you're better at that, but I'll give it a go. And Emlyn knocks on the door.
Okay. Do, do, do. Nothing?
Knock again, harder, angrier.
Yeah, alright. I knock again.
Do, 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 do. The door opens slightly. You see it's got like a chain attached to it. You see a couple of chains as it kind of opens up. You catch a glimpse of a red-skinned face as it quickly closes.
Okay, I guess maybe Emlyn like yells through the door a wee bit, being like, "We've been sent by Elkan."
As it quickly closes as you say that, and he says, "Where's Elkin?"
Oh, good voice.
He's not available at the moment. He sent us instead.
I've never dealt with you.
Well, here we've got your letter. Elkan gave it to us.
Shove it under the door.
Emlyn shoves it under the door.
And he kind of takes it. And he says, "Who else is with you?"
Bodyguards. I trade in a lot of different things, and I know when something's dangerous.
Make a persuasion check.
Fuck.
I've got a proficiency, it's just my charisma's no good.
Oh no!
Yikes.
Fuck me. Nailed it. Fucking nailed it.
I'm pretty sure Sandy curses rogues on purpose.
So that's double ones.
Yeah, double ones.
Yeah, maybe as Emlyn's talking, it's like they realize the further they get into the sentence, the more unconvincing they sound.
Mhm.
They actually have a big bit of cake on their face.
You hear him kind of, Fig, you probably hear this more, like him scrunching up the paper, throwing it down, a door opening, and then it closing
Inside.
inside.
Is he still there or not?
You don't know.
Fuck.
Here, I think we should go around the front and pick that lock.
Okay, let's go.
Oh no, nothing worked
you're
out
muted
how
then.
we expected. Yeah, I think we just like we walk loudly down the stairs.
Be like, whoa,
Talking about how
well,
it
never
didn't
mind
work out.
then.
Yep.
He's gonna be so mad at his order.
And then maybe as we kind of come around in line with the front of the house, then Emlyn like puts her hand to their lips, like a finger to their lips, and tries to quietly go over to the main door and try that instead.
As you these big kind of warehouse doors, you try to like pull one open. It seems to be locked. It doesn't seem to be like chained or anything. It just seems to be locked. You do see a keyhole.
I would like to try and pick the lock.
Okay, go for it.
I don't know what roll that is. Do I just click it?
Yeah, it'll be Dex. You
This
can
is
click it.
new and exciting to
Yeah.
me.
20.
Yo, it's a 20.
Nice. 12 plus 8. 8. Look at that bullshit.
Fuck. How's an 8?
I told you I wasn't good at talking
Expertise,
to
my
people.
dude.
Look at all the skills.
So as you kind of put your thieves' tools in quickly, easy enough, it's an old lock and you've done this many times before. It unlocks and you can feel it kind of push open. It seems to be pretty dark in there. You do see a bunch of boxes as you kind of first peer in, and you do see a human kind of peering out, and he seems to be holding a crossbow.
Uh-oh.
Presumably he's seen the door open.
And
He
he's
doesn't
seen
seem
us.
to know. He kind of sees it kind of like open slightly as the light kind of comes in. It's pretty dark in here. He sees the light come through and he kind of like peers out, but he doesn't see you yet. He's
Oh god, I think Emlyn like beckons to the others and then slips through the door.
okay. So directly in front of you, there are boxes piled up about 10 foot high, and he seems to be on the other side of these boxes trying to peer over. As you kind of walk in. Are you stealthing in?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yes, please.
go for it.
Oh, it's
Oh.
a 10. It was a 2 plus 8.
Okay. So as you kind of open the door more.
Oh, I wanted
Vader's
to...
gonna run in as well.
Oh, we're stealthing? I want to turn
Yeah, is
into...
everything sneaking in after me, or are you just being quiet but still outside the door?
No, I was gonna turn into a giant wolf spider dog.
Ah, do it.
Yikes.
I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna step to the side, turn into a giant wolf spider,
Okay.
and get that +7 stealth, boy.
Okay, go for it.
Here's another roll 1.
How big are they, by the way? Aren't they huge?
I don't know.
I
Big
think-
for
They're
spider.
They're medium.
small,
They're
yeah.
medium beasts.
Okay, so they're the same as you.
Oh, there we go. 15.
Okay.
Oh, sorry. So it's like the size of me, right?
Yeah, pretty big.
It's a 3 foot
Again,
tall spider, probably.
I think that
That's
Emlyn.
horrifying.
Yeah, I think Emlyn assumes that this is just Fig. When Fig was like, "Oh, I can turn into a spider," Emlyn's just like, "Well, I guess that's the size of spider you turn into."
Yeah.
That's the one.
So we have a 10 stealth from Emlyn, an 8 stealth from Veda, and a 15 stealth from Fig. So are you all heading in after Emlyn?
Yeah, I'm gonna like scurry off to the side.
Okay.
Wait, where's
Veda's
the
just,
guy
like,
behind the
wearing heels
box?
Clack.
Yeah.
She just walks in like she's not even bothering. She's just like,
Yeah,
I
He's
don't
like,
care.
hey, what's up?
Hey,
Uh,
nerds.
the one that Emlyn saw is off to the right hand side as you're
Is he
entering.
relatively close?
Yeah, he's probably like 15 feet away.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna
But there's,
sort
like-
of scoot.
There's boxes about 10 foot high, and he's trying
Yeah,
to like
yeah,
peer
yeah.
over them.
Don't worry
Are
about
they,
it.
by
I
the
can
way,
climb.
are they crates that look like the ones that was in the cellar, or are they just boxes?
In this whole warehouse, it's probably
Mhm.
like, it's pretty big. It's probably like 100 foot long, and it's just filled with crates.
Like similar? Are any
Yeah.
of them branded on the side?
Some at the immediate glance you could see are branded with KMC,
God.
others are not.
Okay.
As you enter in, Fig is a giant spider.
Emlyn is nervous, can't see in the dark.
Yeah.
knocking
But I
into
rolled
boxes.
relatively good stealth.
You notice above you are walkways that walk all around this area, and immediately above you is a person looking down at you all
Oh,
as,
cock.
as he kind of takes out a whistle and blows it. and I need everyone to roll initiative.
Is concerned, guys.
Veda just walked in the room like, alright, bitches.
She's just got both of her middle fingers up, just like, fuck y'all!
Yeah.
Would it be Emlyn first because they're the more dexy one?
You all go at the same time. So.
That really like works for the plot, yeah.
We do loads of really stylish shit, like, all together.
Yeah.
Hell
you
yeah.
can, like,
Or just
blend
like
stuff
absolute
together.
disaster stuff. Depends how it goes.
Well, yeah. That sounds more accurate, to be honest.
Yeah.
Everyone's rolled an 11 for their initiative, which is fun. And the people in this who seem to be very unhappy that you're here have rolled a 2 for initiative. So at the start of
Unhappy
this,
but unready. Kind of a surprise for a spider to come through the door. Boom.
yeah, as they weren't, they knew you were coming, and you knew they were there, kind of thing. It's not a surprise of any kind. But yeah, you see all these people. They have torches in one hand. They have light crossbows at their side, and scimitars. Typically, you wouldn't see this kind of armory for warehouse guards. And you hear from the darkness, "Kill them all!" And then a door slamming.
Yeah.
So, Fig, Spider Boy, what are we doing?
Yep. Okay, I'm gonna move over. I'm gonna move 5, 10, 15 feet
Okay, moving
towards the fella hiding behind the boxes.
Okay, so you head southward down towards the boxes where the guy was hiding behind, trying to
Yes.
get Pure out.
And they're gonna like jump around the corner and kind of hiss at him and take a big bite with my little dobbly bits. I don't know what fangs.
Yeah, thanks.
The dobbly fangs. 16.
Yeah, that hits.
Does that hit?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh fuck! How do you use this? So that is 3 piercing damage and 9 poison damage. Don't know why that's so hard. The poison.
Does he need to make a DC?
Yes.
What was it? Okay, so a DC 11 con save, 12 they succeed.
Oh,
so he takes
just
half
succeeds.
damage.
So he takes half damage with the poisons. That would be. Is
4?
it rounded up or rounded down?
Up.
5.
5.
So 8 damage.
Nice. Okay.
And then if I move sort of back here, that's still 5 foot from him, right?
Mhm.
But is that getting me a little bit of cover from the other guys?
Yes. Like those
Okay.
boxes next to you are like 10 feet high, but they're elevated about 20 feet up, so they do have like angles, so they can still shoot you. But
Oh! I know what I'll do. I will crawl up the side of the crate,
okay, so you're
so I'm like pressed up against it.
okay, cool. So as you kind of come around, there's this giant spider, and it's kind of like human guy. You can see
He's slightly
scars.
spotty.
You can see scars down his face, balding, has a bandana on. He says, "Holy shit! What the fuck is that?" And tries to like attack you out. He says, he kind of looks up to them and he says, "Kill the fucking spider first."
No, don't do that.
Veda, your turn.
Okay. Veda is going to. There's boxes in the way.
Yeah, you see, there's people like up. They're all up above you. You're all kind
Right,
of, like,
these
pointing
guys
up.
are. There's a bunch of them on the like kind of walkway
Yeah.
So
above.
we
All
can
these
see
ones
like
are-
ladders and stuff going up to
Right,
the walkway,
okay.
right?
Yeah, you see
And
to the left of you, ladders heading up.
So I think if we're all going at the same time, I think Emlyn is like crouching among the boxes and probably obviously not going to go up the ladders. I don't know if you can like see that in time.
Yeah, because you're all going to once. So you see a spider jump off to your right. Emlyn's now kind of crouching down. Veda, whatever you want to do.
I think she's gonna vicious mockery this guy closest on the walkway.
Okay. So you kind of point up, you see the guy. He's kind of readying a crossbow bolt. He's kind of like fumbling quickly, as you didn't expect a fight, as you vicious mockery him. Which is a con save.
What does he look like?
This guy is, he looks half orc with a broken tusk, a big kind of burn mark down the side of his face. Seems to have a peg leg that seems to be getting stuck in all the cross netting here.
I think she'll say, "If you don't leave, I will burn the other side of your face."
Nice. Ooh, 4 psychic damage. Okay, it's a wisdom Oh, it's a 1.
Oh, nice.
It's a nat 1. Okay.
He's really self-conscious about his burns, apparently.
I mean,
His leg's stuck. He's having a bad time.
yeah, he's trying to like kind of freeze leg and get all this sort of. They all look quite piratey, I would say. As you say this to him, he kind of like grabs his head and kind of looks at you and says, please don't. And he like kind of turns to his friend at the back, and he kind of like throws his torch down into the ground, and he kind of like gets a bit afraid of the fire.
Oh, you traumatized this dude.
Oh.
It makes you relive something terrible.
Anything else you want to do, Veda?
I think she'll just try and move slightly into a little bit more cover.
Okay, sure. Yeah, so you kind of put your back up to the wall as you see this guy now like holding the burned side of his face, and he's starting to get an aim onto you, Emlyn.
If I come around the corner and hide behind the boxes, can I? Oh no, I'll be too far away to shoot the guy on the walkway, won't I?
He's 25 feet.
Okay.
Up. Yeah, so that's not.
So I think that he looks like vulnerable, right?
Yeah.
Having been mocked. In that case, I think Emlyn does want to, come around the corner and from kind of behind the boxes, shoot their short bow.
Sure, go for it. 25.
Nice.
That hits for sure.
Cool.
5 damage. Good shit.
Sneak attack.
No, I don't. I mean,
No.
unless I.
Yeah, his eyes closed from
I
the
mean,
tears.
I can't hide before I attack, right? I feel like
you
before...
can do that, but you didn't say it, unfortunately.
Oh, okay. So like next time,
Mhm.
I don't know. Is it possible for me to hide like up next to Fig as a spider,
Yeah.
and still not be seen? Yeah. Okay. I think that Emlyn wants to be crouched down behind the boxes so that they're kind of like a bit out of the way of the people who are up on the walkway in case they shoot.
Yeah.
Also, a giant wolf spider is medium, which means they're like pretty much bigger
Yeah, you
than
can hide
Emlyn,
behind them.
and because Emlyn is nimble, they can be right up in the same space. So I guess that means visually, I guess Emlyn is like kind of underneath Fig's huge spider legs.
His huge spider butt.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, you run after shooting your bow. It pierces into his side as he's like holding his head. You can see this big open kind of target to the side. It pierces right through his side and he kind of grabs it, falls to the ground slightly, still alive, and he's trying to get like a focus on as you kind of just disappear. If you want to roll your stealth, 25.
25.
Nice.
Damn, dude.
Nice.
As you just kind of slide under Fig, and you can see the guy like attacking Fig's spider form.
Slide under Fig into nothingness, into the shadows.
Fig's just like super fuzzy. The big old spider.
The fuzziest spider.
So, bandits' turns. You hear off into the distance clunking of movement and people running around. You hear from the distance, "Jamie, you fuck, wake up!" And you hear like boxes tumbling over. You see another half-orc appear next to the other one. Seems to be maybe related. And he goes, "Hey, that was just mean!" And he's going to shoot towards Veda. 7, is it?
Miss.
Splinters off the side of the boxes next to you. I'll give you half cover from your boxes, but they are aiming down, so it's easier but harder to hit you. As the one that you shot is going to shoot towards Fig, as that was called out.
I'm like right behind on a box. Like
10. Yeah, he's those boxes are 10 foot. He's 20 foot higher, so you can shoot downwards. So
I get like a bit
you're
of
half
cover?
cover, yeah.
So what
He's
does that
got
mean?
disadvantage as well because vicious
Yeah,
monster.
what does half cover mean again?
You get +2 to your AC.
Okay. Now my AC is my normal AC.
So he's disadvantage, and it's
Thank
a 1.
Christ.
He's rolled 2 1s, this guy.
He's not having a good day.
Yeah.
To be fair, he did roll an 18, but he has disadvantage.
As he shoots down, and he just kind of like drops as he shoots off, it just kind of like dinks out. It wasn't loaded properly, and the crossbow falls to his ground, and he just kind of starts weeping slightly. He's like, he's like, come on, pick yourself up. It'll be okay.
I would feel
You're
more
mad.
yeah, I feel like I'd feel worse. Like Emlyn doesn't really feel bad about it because they already got the instruction to kill them all.
Yeah,
So, you know, it's self-defense.
it's true. As this guy kind of runs up to you, swings out with his sword.
Hello.
11.
Miss. Wait. Shit. No. Misses.
As he slashes outwards with his scimitar, you kind of dodge out the way with your legs, and he's kind of a bit terrified. He's like, "What the fuck are you?"
Your worst nightmare.
Fig, you also hear from upstairs, directly below you, another door open, and it slams shut. Fig, what would you like to do?
I'm gonna like skull up the side of the box.
Okay.
And jump on his head and bite his face.
Jesus. Okay.
I'm a ruthless spider. Shit, I'm not. 5.
Yeah. So as you kind of like jump up on the box and try to jump onto him, he like pushes you back with the end of his scimitar and throws you back out and dodges out of the way of your bite. He's like, "I've fought things like you before." Is there anything else you want to do with your turn?
I'll just like wiggle on the floor, try to look spooky.
Veda, what would you like to do?
Veda's gonna pop out where she's hiding slightly,
Okay.
and shoot her little crossbow at the guy who she vicious mockery last time.
Sad McOrk man.
Sad McOrkman.
Yeah.
He's having a bad day.
He really is. 20.
Pew.
Hit him straight in the chest as he Wilhelm screams, falls off the side, smashing into some boxes. Blah.
His bad day is over.
Yeah. Rest in peace, sweet orc boy.
Okay, she's gonna like duck into her box
Okay. Yeah.
fort again.
So you swing out, shoot him. Wilhelm scream, falls back in, tucked in. Very like cowboy-esque spins. Anything else you want to
I
do?
hope you edit in the Wilhelm scream there.
I might. Awesome.
No, I think that's it just now.
Emlyn.
Emlyn slides out
Okay.
from the darkness under the legs of the spider and attacks with a short
Go around the
sword.
other side. Oh, never mind. Too late.
No, he's already got an advantage because he's stealth.
Oh, okay. Yes.
I already, yeah.
Nice.
15.
It's 15 hit.
Yes.
Cool.
They're just wearing pretty like basic leather armor.
It's 6, but I also get sneak attack, right?
Another 6.
Yo.
Yeah.
And I think basically, I feel like if the boxes are stacked up high,
Mhm.
and Emlyn already has cover from the people up on the walkways,
Mhm.
they are going to use their bonus action to offhand attack as
Okay.
well.
Well, with this guy, as
Oh,
soon
is
as
it
you
too late?
yeah, as you
God
stab
damn.
into his chest and kind of slice downwards, you're about to go for a second attack as you just see him not moving and slump to the ground.
Oh.
Well, okay.
Overkill.
If you'd like to use your bonus action for anything else.
Yeah, in that case, I think they're going to move. If it is possible for Emlyn to
Mhm.
sort of like hide kind of behind the ladder, if they can like walk along, sort of like hurry along the side of the warehouse
Mhm.
to be closer to the ladder on the way up, but also still be kind of hiding at such an angle that you couldn't really, it's harder to
Yeah,
shoot from
okay.
above.
Yeah,
And
so
then they
you
wanna
just
go
like try to
hide
use
there.
the height, the grate to
Yeah.
your advantage, so you can't
Yeah.
shoot down. Okay.
And I'd like to hide.
Okay, as your bonus. Okay.
Yes.
Roll stealth, 14. Awesome. So yeah, you run back further up north where the ladder was, and just kind of like swing around and try to use the darkness there to your advantage.
I got a little dark cloak. I'm blending in.
Yeah. He doesn't seem to be paying attention to you. He seems to be attacking the person with fiery hair that hurt his brother.
Killed
Killed his
his
brother.
brother.
Killed. Yeah. And he kind of looks down and he says, "You bitch!" And he's going to shoot towards you, Veda. He's very mad at you. 22.
Oof, definitely is.
It takes 8 piercing. That
Oh. Ow.
was almost max damage. As he kind of really focuses in on you, as you're kind of hiding, He shoots forward. It hits you into the shoulder and kind of like almost pierces you into the box as you kind of shove your shoulder out. He says, "He did not deserve that." Fig and Emlyn, you see another guy running up the walkway. You can hear the feet clanking on the steel grates. Choo, 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 choo. And another guy. You hear boxes stumbling from the darkness. Fig,
Okay.
what would you like to do?
I am going to scuttle my way up here. I've got 40 feet of movement.
Okay.
How high up? This is 20 feet, did you say?
Yeah, they're 20 foot up high ladder.
Okay, so I can go 25 foot and 20. Oh no, I'm not all the way up the ladder.
It's there in 20 feet and then up.
Okay, so I can get on top,
Yeah.
and I'm gonna get on top and then ready a dodge action.
Okay. So as you kind of like not even use the ladder because you're a spider, you just kind of climb up the side of the wall and land up next to there. And he kind of like turns to face you and says, "Why do you have a spider?"
I'm
Veda.
just gonna get low, like ready dodge.
Awesome.
I think Veda's just gonna like shoot back at this guy with her crossbow.
Okay. I do like the thought of you being like slammed with the bolt in you and you're just like, "No." Shoot forward. Go for it.
She's mad. Oh no.
Oh no.
6. Fucking that one.
That one. As you kind of whip out and try to shoot forward, the pain in your shoulder was a bit more than you'd previously liked, and you kind of like wink your eyes and it just shoots off wide, and you hear in the distance, ding! It seems to have hit something and far in the distance, God knows what.
Just gonna try and like duck behind the boxes.
Okay.
How are you doing for health?
She's okay.
Okay.
Emlyn.
I feel like Emlyn, I don't know if you're gonna let me do this as like a free action, so it doesn't take up a bunch of my turn. But I think Emlyn maybe wants to like yell if they can be heard through the warehouse, being like, "We've taken down your companions. This job isn't worth your lives. Get out of here." Am I allowed? Will you let me do that, or is that gonna like take my turn?
Well, what are you trying to do? Are you trying to do something, or are you just?
Yeah, but
saying
Emlyn
stuff?
doesn't want to kill these people.
Okay. Hey, we take your turn
they
to
do
make a
genuinely-
persuasion check.
Yeah.
Because you're trying to lay down your arms, so you're not readying to fight. So you're being
No,
like,
Emlyn is ready to fight.
Yeah.
But they still want to persuade these people to get out of here because it's
Okay.
not, I mean, like their quarrel is not with these like random people
yeah.
who just work for this company. But yeah, if that's going to take my turn, I think
Yeah.
that's what they would do.
Okay. Make a persuasion check.
Cool. I mean, and also we have taken down a couple of their companions.
Yeah, it's true.
In my.
That's why it's not a disadvantage.
Okay.
19.
Nice.
Okay.
I was all set to go Murderhobo in here.
I mean, as one does.
Yeah, I was very excited to be a giant spider.
Emlyn's been swayed by this guy. This sad boy.
A sad orc boy. Yeah, I think the guy whose brother it was, he kind of like looks towards his companion, sees another one dead, and just says, and he kind of like looks around. He's fucking left anyway. I'm not losing my life for this. Lads, let's go out. And he just says, "It's not worth it," and begins to run the other direction. And the two that just kind of made it to the fight, they look around, notice that whoever was leading them is not here anymore, and kind of throw down their crossbows and kind of like back away.
All of them.
Yeah, all of them.
Yo.
Nice one.
Damn it, Emlyn.
I feel bad that we killed this guy's brother.
I feel like Emlyn is like.
Yeah,
Emlyn
some
is
stuff
gonna
will get
get
there.
surprised.
I don't have any pockets at the moment, and I can't speak at the moment. But if someone wants to get the vibes from me, that
Yeah, Veda'll go give this sad boy a good berry. Sad
Okay.
boy that she killed.
Maybe I feel like as Vader is going over, Emlyn is like, take his weapons.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
she'll, like,
you're gonna attempt to heal him.
One sec.
Okay.
give him a good berry.
Okay. I'm gonna see if he's still alive or not. As you kind of go drop a bear in his mouth, his jaw is just like slack and he's not moving. You try to like crush it up and he's not coming back.
Oh well.
He's
She's
dead.
not that heartbroken about it.
And did we hear which direction the door slammed earlier, or
Oh,
like
I
where
did.
the original order came from?
As you probably came in, it was from the bottom right, where you were fighting before, down south.
Cool.
And that's the direction you kind of came up and around from. You came from around that bottom right corner and up to the front entrance here.
So can we see the door?
No, it's in a small room at the top. You do see like a glass window.
Oh.
And stairs heading up down that way.
Can I sneakily climb up and look through the glass window?
Yeah, this giant spider comes at the window.
Sneakily.
I feel like Emlyn also wants to like check the crates before we all head off, but yeah.
22.
Okay. As you kind of sneakily crawl up the wall and kind of peer around to the window, you see an empty office with a burning candle in it. And a door heading outwards, and you see a couple of chains loose on the door. Emlyn, make an investigation check.
Again, it's pretty dark in here, right?
There's candle lit and like on some boxes and things. And
My question is, will you let me ask Veda to use her hair so that I can see better what's in the boxes?
Sure, yeah. If Veda's willing to help.
Yeah.
Okay, 16. Yeah, as you kind of walk around this whole place, I mean, it's pretty massive.
I kind of want to know if it's like all the same stuff or if it's a big mix, I guess.
Fig's just like scurrying around in his spider form. I feel like he gets really excited when he's in his animal forms. And he's like runs around.
He's got zoomies.
He does have the zoomies. He's just zooming around as a really big spider.
There you go. That's like...
It's terrible.
You can see this whole area now. So it's this big giant warehouse as you kind of take time walking around. You only see some branded with KMC. Others have different merchant companies that you probably recognize from all over the place. You see the ones that do have KMC. Do you pop them open? Is that what you'd like to do?
Yeah, I think so.
You find a crowbar and you kind of pop open a couple of these. You see some of them do have these vials, but it's not the same route. Some have petrol or oil in them. Some have some of these boxes have clothing in them. Some have strange bits of wooden sculptures. And you kind of head up to the right side, and where Veda shot that stray crossbow bolt, it seemed to pierced through one of those boxes that had that black kind of oil in it, and it's kind of poured down all the side of these boxes.
But like, as far as I can tell, is any of this stuff like, is it like dangerous? Is it like I don't know if this will be like intelligence basically for me to figure it out, whether it's like illegal or whether or whether there's other pretty much. If we can't find anything that's similar to what to the sort of like pumpkin stuff from before, but I wonder if it was just like and I guess maybe Emlyn like voices this to Veda if they're together, that like maybe it was just a trading operation and they wanted to get rid of him.
Maybe. That seems a little extreme though.
Is can I with my brain like figure out if the goods are like contraband or dangerous or anything like that?
Make a history check. An 8.
Strong 8, very in character.
Hard to say what the rules are between KMC. It does seem to be a legitimate merchant company, but the people who are running it are not very merchant-like. And that's all you kind of can discern. The products they're shipping, like oil, wood materials, art, pretty normal. But the style of people running it are not normal.
I don't really get it. If the stuff is all just like stuff, then what are they doing not letting us in the door, trying to kill us as soon as we come into the house? Like, I mean, I wouldn't run a warehouse like that.
Yes, it's very suspicious. There's definitely something more going on.
How long do you spend investigating around here?
I feel like maybe like not too long, because especially if Fig is off scurrying up somewhere and we know that maybe there's still someone who might, if there's like rooms that we haven't been to.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of feel like we've made, that's in the back of Emlyn's mind anyway.
Yeah, as you kind of like quickly like open a couple of these crates, I mean that's what you find. There's not much. This only seems to be the one room as you walk around, except from the room upstairs that Fig investigated, peering in. But other than that, it just seems to be this warehouse.
And this warehouse is now completely empty.
Of people, yeah.
Fig,
He's come back.
can you, Fig, if you, okay, so you didn't see any people?
Shakes head. He's still a spider.
Yeah, I know.
Okay,
I'm
I know.
wanting you to like nod, or
He nods.
okay, but there's still a room there that looks like it might be an office.
Yes, nod my head.
I mean, I reckon we might want to go and look for what papers they have. If we can't understand what they're doing here, maybe that's a good bet. Especially if you think you don't see anyone.
Nods
But maybe you
head.
ought to stay being a spider just in case.
Nods head.
Do you want to show me where it was?
Scoot, scoot, scoot.
Okay.
Gonna scuttle moving
Emlyn
quick.
is like fucking running after, I guess, still
Yeah.
slower than this big old spider.
So yeah, you head south of the warehouse. You see stairs going up to that grid wall, and you see like a small wooden office built out of the wall. The door seems to be unlocked, and kind of hastily kind of pushed open. You see a bunch of papers on the desk on the inside. Again with a bunch of drawers and various bits and pieces. A chair knocked over, and the door that you first knocked on with the chains unhooked and slightly ajar.
Does it look like is there any paper on the floor and stuff? Like
Yeah.
it looks like someone tries to grab something and run.
There is paper kind of strewn on the floor. Make a investigation check.
We
Can-
heard
Can we
drawers,
all?
right?
Yeah. Can we all try and investigate if do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
If
Is
we're
it
all
any
just like,
weird
let's just
that-
search, let's everyone look at different bits. Like,
Sure.
let's look in the drawers.
Do we all individually roll?
Yeah, sure. I'll let you do that.
Okay.
Since you're all
Is that
kind of
okay?
doing it.
23.
Oh no, I got a 1. I was like, yes, 23.
Oh, I got a 5.
Okay.
Vader can see.
As Fig is
Fig
a spider,
spider.
it gets really in the way of Emlyn and kind of knocks Emlyn quite a few times.
I feel like all the papers are sticking to his feet.
Mm.
Like spiders have like sticky feet. So he's,
Fig
like,
just starts trying to play.
starts like playing with a bit of wool that he found on the floor.
And Veda, you kind of walk up to the desk, you open a drawer, you take a nice set of letters that seem to be quickly thrown in, unfurl them as there's a spider running along all the walls and keeps getting knocked by Emlyn. You see that it's correspondence between a bunch of people, all different handwritings, talking about different orders that seem to be pretty normal stuff, being like, I need 5 liters of oil, I need, all this kind of things. And the one that you do find to be a bit iffy is, it says, look for the box marked 213, there'll be a false hatch.
And does Vader show it to everyone?
Yeah.
What do you think? I kind of think I'd rather look for box 213 than try and chase down someone we don't even know what they look like.
Did you notice any boxes with labels like that?
I mean, I'm sure we could go and try though. There's no one in here.
Okay.
I mean, I just think if we go out and try and... I mean, I don't want to go and try and hurt someone.
No.
We didn't
Yeah.
see what they look like. We don't know who they are.
Yeah, all you know is that they had red skin, and that was about it.
I reckon I'm safer looking through boxes. More comfortable in that area.
Okay.
Does that sound alright?
Okay, let's go look.
Spider fig nods.
Okay, cool. Let's go.
So
We'll...
Make a... Well, you've already investigated. How long do you want to spend in here trying to look for this thing?
I feel like unless we hear noises of people approaching, and maybe, oh god, I guess maybe Emlyn like asks, since Fig is not going to be that much use, I guess maybe Emlyn asks Fig to look out, even though they have no idea if Fig will be good at that as a spider.
He's still got his passive perception. Well, I suppose you don't know that.
Yeah.
No, Emlyn doesn't know. Emlyn's not friends with a lot of druids. So I think that maybe like unless we hear loads of noises or we've been here for like hours, then I feel like it's a lead, and Emlyn wants to look for it. Although they'll be swayed if Vader is not on board.
No, Vader's in having a look.
Okay.
And also, I think that Emlyn is like, you know, concerned that it's going to be the same stuff as the pumpkin people. I mean, it certainly seems to be like related, and the letter was talking about like a plan. So I think that maybe Emlyn is like worried for the worst, that it was a really bad plan, that the pumpkin's going to take over the town. Like, I don't know. They're worried about it.
Okay. Cool.
So you want me to keep watch?
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna hop on top of the metal thing so I can get a good eye.
Okay. Make a perception check, just for the hours that you're going to be here.
Whoops, that was persuasion. Pretty good though. 17's a little bit better on perception.
Okay. So 17 for that. Yeah, you kind of like patrol. You were probably in here for 2 to 3 hours.
Shit. Okay, I'm no longer a
wow.
spider.
Yeah, and then you know your form drops.
When my form drops, can I like sit down? Although I'm still being passively perceptive. Can I take a rest?
Sure. Yeah.
Cool.
So you actually spend this time looking around, knowing that you're looking for KMC mostly. You spend some time moving boxes out the way. So yeah, you spend your time looking for this box that's marked 213. You know, it takes you a couple of, probably like 3 hours, because the main muscle is not there, lifting all this stuff, so it takes a bit longer.
Emlyn starts justifying themselves. Like every hour, Emlyn is like, it could be really dangerous, and we don't even know what it could be, and I think it's still a good idea that we should look.
And
I think if Fix turns back into his normal self, like, hey guys, you need a hand of anything, you're right.
I mean, they definitely need some help lifting stuff, because
I think they need
Vader is
help, so, like-
absolutely worthless in that department.
Yeah, but also Fig needs to look out. I guess it's like together, it's Emlyn and Vader, like together, like very weakly trying to lift like single boxes.
Yeah.
Fix is
It's
kind of
more just
watching,
that,
like,
And mostly like it takes the time to like push things out of the way. You eventually find this under a couple of boxes, this larger crate that was kind of hidden away, and you just see like the KMC kind of branded onto it, and you just see off to the side it says 213 kind of scratched in with a knife of some kind. You kind of quickly push some boxes out of the way and kind of clatter to the ground. You know, a couple of wood cutting axes fall on the ground, and some stuff shatters that might have been ceramics. As you kind of lift it open, you see, looks like linen. As you know this is a false bottom, you kind of push through and lift up the false bottom, and you see these small barrels, it looks like, and they're marked with a big red X on them. And they're completely sealed, and it seems to have a slight wick coming off the side of it.
Can we like figure out what they are? Do you know what I mean? Do we know what they are, or have we like never seen anything like this before?
Make an intelligence check.
I assume I can't just be like, oh yeah, I figured it out. I think Emlyn needs to figure it out.
I think everyone needs to figure it out.
Or not. Let's see.
Can Vader help?
Yeah, sure.
nice.
It was a 19, so it's 20.
Nice. So as you're kind of like looking at these things and you kind of like smell it, you've seen this once before. You recognize the smell, and it's mostly used for mining, but these create large explosions. There seems to be like a small TNT barrel filled with black powder, and you know if you light this, it's gonna go boom. So they're doing something with this powder. And you know, there's the technology for cannons, but it's very rarely used, and it's only on big scale things, and very expensive mining companies will use these to like level big portions of mountains, and was since you rolled so high, it's dwarven technology that was given out.
Yeah, I mean, Emlyn explains it to the others, and yeah, they're talking about there's actually, there's mountains where actually a lot of dwarves live on the island that they're from, and they know about it. They don't really know what to do with it. I mean, I wouldn't necessarily I don't want to leave it here, because I mean, I don't know if there's a lot of mining around these parts, but in a false bottom, who knows what they're going to use it for? But maybe we don't want to be carrying this with us when you're like made of fire or something. I don't really know what's going on with you.
Could you report it to the guards or something?
I mean, to the one guard who is standing almost asleep at the gate.
He's doing his best.
I'm sure he is, but like...
We could hide it.
I mean, it's already kind of hidden.
But they know where it is.
Maybe we should
hide it somewhere
bury
else.
it or something. I think we should take it with us, but maybe not, keep carrying it with us.
Yeah, you do notice, like, as you kind of dig down, there's about 4 of these barrels side by side. And you probably need, from your background, you probably need a very specific type of merchant papers to actually ship this. And it would be differently transported than in a box.
Yeah, okay. Emlyn passes that along as well. Is it like, are they small enough that if we like manage to find some sacks elsewhere, we could kind of put a couple of them in sacks and get maybe Fig to carry them out?
Yeah, easy enough, yeah.
I mean,
Can I carry that out?
Yeah, they're like...
I mean, they're in the box under a false bottom, right?
Yeah, so they're not big.
Okay, cool.
They're probably like A5 sized.
Oh, that's fine.
Yeah, they're quite small. Everyone knows here what A5 is. So.
Artists. I mean, unless you can think of something better to do with them. They look small, but
We're gonna take them after we pick them up.
I just think we should throw them in the... I don't know, but maybe if we put them underground or get them wet, it's fire you need to keep them away from.
Throw them in the canal?
Well, maybe weighed down or something.
I've got rocks.
I kind of think that maybe that's a good idea. I mean, you really need all kinds of papers to sell them on, and I don't really want anything to do with it, because without them, who knows? If you don't have the papers, you're probably going to be selling it to people using it for, not for mining.
Are you sure we shouldn't give it to the law guy, the law master?
I'm just not sure I'd trust them. Everyone seems to think that, the law masters will know exactly what's right and wrong, but I wouldn't say that was quite right. I mean, you saw them. They put all the guards up at the fancy house. And then they don't even know what's going on here. We found out and we've only been in town for 2 days.
I don't trust them. They're useless.
Okay, well, if I have to use my rocks, then it has to be for a good reason. Unless we can find other rocks.
We'll have a look for other rocks. I don't think that's going to be a problem.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay.
So I've got a really smooth one that's kind of shaped like a cat. That's really cool.
Very nice, and you should maybe show us later. Yeah, if everyone seems on board, then I think let's do that and maybe get out of here now.
Okay.
Okay. I will hoist them.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, they're not very big. You can just carry
And
them.
the room we looked at papers is like the only room, right? Everything else is just boxes.
Mm-hmm.
Can I carry them in my arm, like all 4 of them? You say there's 4 of them?
Yeah, you can carry all 4 of them.
Or do I need to be like a bindle?
I think we want to find sacks so it isn't obvious what we're carrying out.
Well, I was just gonna wrap them in like my blanket and then.
Oh, well, if this box is full of linen, then we'll tie it up like one of the, you know, that thing that you put on a stick if you're anywhere from home.
A bindle.
Oh, is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Okay, I just didn't know the word. I was like, well, I don't know what you're talking about.
I don't know why, but I'm really fascinated by bindles. I used to make them all the time.
So yeah, you want to head out of here with your little bindle?
Yeah,
Yeah,
TNT.
and maybe not out the front door. Maybe we should go up around the side bit.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll try to sneak out the sides.
Yeah.
Little bundle of explosives.
Hell yeah. We're dangerously bindled.
So as
Can you
kind
just keep your hair as far away from it as possible? When you get mad, you should. I feel like this is just Emlyn, like that we're just like walking down and like toward the canal. We've like left the place, and Emlyn is just asking like slightly inappropriate questions. Like, my ma told me that if you get an elf and they're cursed by a fire demon, that's not what happened to you, is it?
Call me insensitive.
No, I'm a via genasi.
I know, but like that's not how you make genasi.
No.
We don't really have a lot of them where I'm from. So you're not an elf.
No. My
Okay.
mother is a half elf.
See, I was pretty close.
Not really.
Pretty close. But you might, if you got cross, could you accidentally set things on fire?
I can set things on fire on purpose.
I know, but like, I just want to make sure there's no chance of us like blowing a huge hole in the side of a hill because we're walking along trying to get rid of these barrels.
I'm not going to light the fuses, don't worry.
Okay, I'm just trying to be safe and also don't understand what either of you are about. We mostly just have people don't really come to the island. It's mostly just halflings and dwarves and sometimes humans. So I feel like it's been kind of a steep learning curve in the last 5 years or so. It doesn't matter.
Chicken and Emlyn are on the same level here.
That's true.
Emily knows exactly what's going on their island. And then they know what's going on when you're trying to sell people things. And that's it.
So as you're walking down the main canal, you know, you see these canal boats. Fig, you really pick up on this, that someone seems to be very upset at one of the docks where the canal boats are. And you can see one of the guards like trying to console them. And he's kind of like...
Is it the orc?
No. You see it's a halfling person. And he seems to be quite upset.
The person over there is crying, I guess.
Can we hear any of like what's going on from
Yeah.
where we are?
Have I tried to listen?
As you kind of like approach, you hear, yes, this strange creature just jumped on my boat and stole it. And he says, I'm sorry, I don't know what you want me to do about it. He's, go after him. I don't know how long ago he left, but he was just, I heard that he was this strange red goblin thing.
Fig lets out a small gasp.
Yeah, like Emlyn looks directly into Fig's eyes, like, oh.
As you pour the
Fill it with
barrels. Yeah. So are you just putting that into the water?
I think if we're gonna do that, we probably want to do it like at night, not
Okay.
just like in the day.
I'm gonna roll insight on the guy, see if he's faking it. Crocodile tears.
Okay.
I mean, it makes sense, doesn't it? If this
Narrow
guy is
minded.
trying to get a getaway from the place.
12.
He doesn't seem to be lying. He's really crying that someone stole his boat.
I think he's genuinely upset.
Well, yeah. Emlyn goes up to the person who's upset.
Yeah.
Excuse me, we were looking, there's someone we're supposed to be meeting for a sort of business thing, and kind of sort of a strange kind of red colored skin. Did you say that someone stole your boat looking like that?
Yeah, it was a big guy, really deep, grumbly voice, and he just hopped on my boat and left. Apparently, I was off getting a drink, and come back to this.
Aye, that sounds like exactly who we're looking for. You didn't see what direction they went in or anything?
Well, there's only one direction they can go, and points down the river. This is probably out that way, but who knows?
Is he lying about any of this?
Make an insight check.
Natural 20.
Oh, you're trying to see if it's like a getaway boat.
No, he seems to be like this was his boat and it was stolen from him.
Okay,
Like he was-
100% sure,
Yeah,
guys.
100%.
100%. Only nat 20 of the night.
I think that's a good place to end with, like, you guys holding this big sack of TNT, not knowing
It's a bindle of TNT.
bindle of
Thank you
TNT.
very much.
as this.
Just like staring directly into camera, like this may be more complicated than we thought. Duh, duh.
Okay, yeah, we can end it there. I'm excited. We're down this path now, and I'm excited to where it goes.
I'm very nervous.
Mhm.
I'm nervous about what we're gonna do to like get rid of this.
I say we all sit down, look at Fig's rock collection. And
What are you doing with
then-
these rocks?
He just has them in his backpack.
Yeah, but
We're not using. We're not just gonna use your special rocks.
No, I know. I thought that's what Sandy's asking.
Yeah,
Oh, I was
I'm
gonna
just
weigh
asking
them down.
what, but they're heavy. They're
Well, so they don't like float away or roll around or anything, or like roll into a stream and some kiddies find it or something.
Yeah, but like we can just find rocks that aren't your special ones.
No, I know. I still say we sit down and look at the rocks. They're very nice. I may have been sitting planning what kind of rocks he had.
Okay.
okay. Good shit. Thanks for listening to this week's episode of Draw Your Swords, and don't forget to like and subscribe, and check out our social media at DYS Podcast.